So welcome.
Yes. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I just want to warn all the listeners that I have been drinking.
We all have been drinking.
Red Cup Special.
These are orange cups, Hoover.
This is fuchsia, actually.
This is orange. What kind of fucked up eyes do you have? This is orange.
Is this orange, y'all? It's orange.
It's
This
kind of a
so-
blood orange.
Can I get a burnt orange, maybe?
No, just regular orange. Can we use basic colors? I hate when people want to do fuchsia.
It's
It's
rusty.
pink.
Well, they
it's
gave it
red.
a real word
It's
because it
orange.
exists. Like, that's the color on the family colors. Anywho,
Yo,
That's
we
these
in here.
extra
So
faces.
it's, we're here. It's West LA Joe, DeOtis, me and the gay homie.
Yeah.
And we have some guests. We have my friend. Look, man, first time I ever went on a podcast was with this young lady. She's fiery, opinionated.
Oh.
Yo, man, she's strong.
She brought the alcohol.
yes, she did.
Yo, man.
Noted.
And she's pushing something strong right now. She's pushing a movement. So I want to welcome Tiffany Hobbs.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yes. I brought the alcohol, so things will be very, very honest tonight. Happy to be here. Thank you, Joe. Very proud of what you guys are doing with me and the gay homie. Groundbreaking, popular, and deserved.
And you
So
brought
keep
the
it up.
crew
Brought the crew.
from 1 and 1 Records.
Got all my artists from 1 and 1 Records, absolutely. Bugsy Capri, New Dinosaurs, and Mo County in the house, 1 and 1 Records.
I'm excited about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited because of how you sound right now.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You sound so renewed right now.
Yeah. Very confident, sure of what I have. These are great people beyond their talent. They're friends.
That's important.
They're family. I trust them. And then on top of all of that, they have this insurmountable talent, these remarkable skills within each of their crafts, from singing to songwriting to rapping to producing to everything, fellowship, and just being together. They're very strong, and I'm confident in them. So not only is it a movement, it's a family. It's
That's
a
what's
unit,
up.
All
right, we're going to get more into it. For sure, we're going to get very detailed, find out everyone's story.
Yes.
What's pushing them, what's driving them. But first, we got to get to some news. We got to get to some, some of these. We got to get to some Soulja Boy. I've been wanting to talk about Soulja Boy.
Hey,
I've been talking about Soulja Boy all week on Instagram. I love Big Soulja.
I do. I mean, I don't think we can deny his influence on our music. And, I mean, he started on the internet, didn't he?
Social media.
Social media. Yeah. And people didn't really respect him because of that until he was in everybody's tracks.
You know what? To be honest, the adults.
The adults did.
The hip hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
they didn't respect
The hip hop haters, huh?
No.
Triple
I
H's?
guess they are hip hop haters, but they are who they consider themselves the what hip hop is supposed to be.
Yeah,
And
like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
From the
I
80s
get
area,
I get it because I didn't fuck with
era
no
and all that.
Soulja Boy.
Mhm.
I didn't do it.
He was for the new generation, though.
Yeah, he was.
Of what
He
rappers,
was.
is.
And I blame him for a lot of bullshit that's on the radio and shit. But it's all
I know,
good.
right? Exactly.
He got his money. One thing I know, he came from the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Mississippi. He did his thing, and he made it.
Oh, wait, he's not from Cali?
No.
You better get. Okay, listen. We're gonna get straight to this. Because I saw when he said said he had receipts, and I saw people say,
and
"Oh,
Ray
he had
J.
the receipt." Don't you ever
Receipts
disrespect
about
Ray J.
what,
They from
though?
here.
Don't you disrespect Ray J on this podcast. Ray J.
I put my glasses down. I'm looking at you over my
Listen,
special glasses
Ray
I
J
got
is-
from Ray J
Ray J
right
is
now.
from LA.
The listeners can't see that,
Ray
but I'm
J
gonna put
is
the glasses.
from
Well, they
LA.
can't see it. I got my invisible
Listen,
glasses. It's the
I
new
will,
edition.
I will fight on behalf of Ray J.
I used to see Ray J at World on Will, so big up to Ray J. We appreciate
Hey,
him.
listen, Ray J. I don't think he no tough guy. I
But
don't.
he don't think he a tough guy.
But what I will say is back in the motherfucking 90s, when being a blood and wearing red was not popular, Ray J wore red and was claiming blood everywhere he went.
Yeah.
He would get ran out of places.
Yes.
He would get beat up.
Yes.
But he did not stop. That little motherfucker had heart.
Yeah.
You should have seen him on skates, banging blood at World on Will. Trying to get away from like Crip niggas skating or Crip N-word skating. Just, running just on the skates real fast. And he's short. So it was like this little kid,
That's what I'm saying. Look, y'all can talk your shit, and I get it. You talk your shit about Ray. He's a funny guy.
No, it's not. I respect his.
I'm not
I
talking about
respect
you.
his speed.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like people in general.
Yeah.
And you said respect his speed, motherfucker. Yo.
One wish.
Yo, but
Yeah,
look,
one wish.
Hey, hold on. He's the first R&B artist to ever have a gang banging song.
And what song was that? What?
Centerview?
Centerview.
Yes.
On the
Wait, how'd it go?
Hold on. Get closer.
You gotta get closer and sing.
You gotta do the lean in.
Do it. You gotta get
Gotta
closer.
lean in.
That's literally how it goes.
I know.
And Centerview.
That is how it goes.
Amazing that it wasn't a worldwide hit.
He
Amazing that it wasn't a hit.
Pyro nowhere in it.
I have
What's he
that
talking
whole
about?
album.
What's the game banging for?
Centerview. Hey, he talks about it for sure.
We're going to learn to respect the legacy of radiation. Respect what radiation gave us. It gave us bops. It gave us bedroom booms. It gave us everything we needed.
Better let us know.
Everything we needed back in 2005. And I am so tired of y'all disrespecting the legacy. The beautiful music
That's my artist, Mo
legacy
County, with the facts and the receipts.
Hey.
that Willie Norwood Jr.
Yes.
gave us with radiation.
Hey, you
And
know
that's
what?
all I have to
That's
say.
that was my grandmother's. That was my grandmother's best friend's cousin.
Fun fact.
But, yeah, because she was a Norwood. Like
Okay.
that was her family. Like, and she was family with. They're really family with Snoop and all them. Like,
Yeah.
like they're all from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I think
it was,
pretty much every black person out here either derives from Mississippi or
Georgia.
Louisiana or
Hey,
Texas or
hey,
Georgia.
my mama Mississippi,
Yeah.
my daddy Louisiana.
Exactly. Exactly.
Put those together with that.
It was going on in my head, actually. Yeah.
So okay, so back to Soulja, man.
Yeah.
He went on the Breakfast Club. He was on Everyday Struggle,
Aubrey Graham with the wheelchair.
and he wanted to get his respect. Yo, he was like, yo, y'all not understanding. Like, I had the biggest comeback of 2018. One thing he wasn't understanding though is when they were talking about biggest comeback, they were strictly talking about music. We weren't talking about the fact that you had a verbal argument with Chris Brown that nobody gave a fuck about.
Nobody.
And that you people from your neighborhood that you claim weren't claiming you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody knew what you was doing. But I am proud of actually him having the conversation at the Breakfast Club. I was very proud of the dude though, man. At times, he sounded like a child. He was sounding like a child. Then other times, he sounded like somebody who actually knew what the fuck he was doing in the world. And I was like,
Well,
okay.
a broken clock is right twice a day.
So what?
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Oh, well, yeah. I agree with that. It's just people were able to look between the lines and actually find some factual like shit that he's talking about, because it's like, damn, he is responsible for a movement pretty much. And I just think a lot of people just wasn't appreciating the delivery. Like you know,
and he's so, and the other thing nobody's appreciating is his fucking headband.
I know. We just want him to have a makeover
Why is that
or
shit
some
so stretched out?
Well,
He got his headband got stretch marks. It's just fucked up.
Nobody talks shit about people who are successful and doing well when they have, their shit together. It don't matter what they wear. So, LeBron was able to get away with the headband for how many years? Nobody really. People talk shit, but people still respected him.
Okay, I was about to say everybody talk shit about that hairline, the headband, all that shit.
But guess what? The hairline is back, and everybody seemed to forget it wasn't there last year.
left.
So Soulja Boy is back like LeBron's hairline.
Have y'all seen
Respect
Deion
that.
Sanders' hair?
See?
Yeah.
Dude, he
He
did.
He said, "I'm back, baby."
He did the hair weave. What'd he do?
Yes. No, not
did
the
like
hair
a
weave.
plant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put it up.
Look, I can't
The
wait.
pla-
I can't wait until I get that money.
That's what I was
'Cause
gonna
I'm
say.
ready.
Let me ask both of you guys.
I'm
So
ready.
say heredity hits you the wrong
I'm
way
doing
in
it.
20 years from
We
now,
talked about
5
it
years
on
from
this
now. You
podcast.
talked about
I'm
it. You gonna
doing
get the
it.
quick weave? You gonna get the hair
No,
weave?
not the quick. Well, I would.
They got one for locks too, D.
We did talk about it last episode. Y'all saw the locks being.
I
I
think I'm the appropriate person to have this discussion.
Oh shit.
should.
We have our scientist, Mo
But you
County.
gotta take off your cap
Because
first.
No, not on camera.
Lean in. Get close to the mic.
Because underneath this hat is a hairline that goes all the way back
I'm not ready.
to the 405. And I'm here for man weaves. I fully support the movement. I think that men like myself have stood in the shadows for long enough
Shadows, they're lurking.
and watched while dread-headed niggas
From the mountains. From the mountaintop.
and niggas from Cali with braids
Why do they
have
start braids?
stood in their truth. It is time. It is fully time for men with hairlines that like to creep back
Oh my God.
to stand in their truth.
I love this dude.
Yeah.
And if you hear me right now and you're experiencing some hair loss, go and get you a man weave.
Come on.
Hey,
We left shame in 2018, guys.
And I agree with that. And what I'm mostly excited about is that we're just at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like by the time I go bald, we're gonna be really doing some revolutionary shit. Like, and I'm gonna be for it. You know?
hey, I told you I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm trying to get married in the next 2 years because I see it coming.
It's coming.
So she can love me for me.
Lock it down.
She gotta love me for me. But that's why I go to the gym too, so I can be like ripped up and buff, like buff with like a wig, pushed back. You alright? You gonna be
I
straight?
mean, you could be buff and bald. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, I'm so scared though because I remember trying to like cut my hair off bald when I was in high school, and my shit was pale than a motherfucker.
Wait,
it was
you tried to
weird.
go bald in high school?
Like I tried to like just go straight, like
gotta
you
put
know,
on some
like people went, yeah, like there was a few people who was going. I was like, I'm gonna go bald. Like,
Ooh, that was Kobe's era.
like I'm old. What the fuck? It was people.
What you
I mean, I'm saying like it was people. Cut
Nobody
their,
had that.
But my thing is, when
Nah,
y'all
it
had a
was
little
for
quick
sure.
weave on and y'all are working out, say you got your little, say you got your little quick weave on, you got your little man weave, you know, you got your little situation going on, and then you start working out and your
Yeah.
shit start dripping down your forehead.
I have a cap on.
Beijing, I'm saying. No, they have them where you can literally put like
wear that
lash
Soulja Boy
glue.
headband.
Ah!
Right there.
You can put. I saw this video
Or work out with a wave
for
cap.
locks specifically, and you use lash glue. But no, it was actually for beards, for people who can't grow a beard. 'Cause there are people in the population who can't.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not
So
gonna
you
talk
can't-
about them though.
I mean, you know, people a little patchy. Not you, but I'm saying other people.
Okay, I don't like
but
this at all.
well, Joe, you know, there's still hope. You still got time. So you be all right. Why you covering it up? They can't see
Because
it.
we're not on my good side.
Why you
I should have
covering
been
it
on
up?
that side. My left side is lit.
Left side is strong. No, you put some lash glue and you get some braiding hair. It was a video, and you cut little pieces off and then you glue it to your face, and then you trim it, and you got a little beard going. You know.
Yeah.
So there you go, Joe. You have options.
All right,
You
look.
got options. I don't know how this went from Soulja Boy to glue on beards and quick
You
weave.
know what? To be real. All right, the only thing I'm gonna stop talking about Soulja Boy, but I will want to say I do respect the dude. He has done a lot, except the receipts thing. Let's stop it at Bompton. You were not from there. Let's please stop because I really take offense to like these dudes coming from other places.
Tiger.
But
Tiger.
But I specifically take
Who did you just
offense.
say?
Tiger.
But one second. Cause
Tiger with a Y.
Hold on. Because I specifically take offense to like people from like a Chris Brown and the people who are from these other states who come here
Yeah.
at the top of their like in the height of their like profession, their fame,
Yeah.
and they want to claim these gangs. Like
Yeah.
you're not going through what we went through here.
Well, no, you know who's putting them
I
on?
agree with that.
The game.
No. I know exactly who. I know exactly who's doing it, but we're not gonna talk about it because we can't, and I will have to like cut it out of here.
Oh,
But
well.
Run into him.
that's like the family's folks, but it just kind of sucks, man. Like I done lost so many. I done lost my brother, my cousins, like homies, and this shit is not a game. Like y'all don't understand what we went through coming through this shit.
It's the same shit. Khloe Kardashian was standing on top of a Jeep throwing up bloods in the middle of Watts. You know?
Hey,
She was throwing up
Hey.
B in the middle of Watts, co-signed by some people we are all very familiar with. from the area. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
I mean,
fine.
They don't get let into the house until someone invites them.
Somebody opened the door.
Yeah.
Somebody not
Yeah.
only opened the door,
Like,
but
you're
gave
right.
them a seat,
You're
told them
right,
to put
you're
their
right.
hat and coat up.
You're right.
So
And you people coming from other places, just be a real one. Like, you don't have to, like, I know a lot of people think you have to connect yourself to a blood or Crip gang or some kind of, even the Fruit of Islam to protect yourself. Just be a real one. We don't fuck. If you're a real one, nobody fuck with you.
Matter.
We don't care.
Like,
But
yeah,
when you
I'm
try to
actually
act
from
like
here
you,
and don't gangbang.
when you try to act like
Actually from here and I
Yeah.
don't gangbang.
exactly,
Like,
when you
what
try
the-
to act like you're something that you're not, though, that's when you gonna get tested.
Right.
Because that's when the game got tested by my own family.
Come on.
He from here,
Hello.
and we was like, we don't know who you are. My family was like, who is this
Who
dude?
is this dude? You played basketball the whole time. Who are you talking about?
Like, just be a regular motherfuckers and stop playing.
Stop
like,
thinking, please. What's your boy Takashi got arrested? And he was like, I actually don't gangbang. I just did that for record sales. That's what he said in the courtroom.
same thing Game did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't actually
let's be
gangbang. I just
real.
do that
Yeah.
for records.
Same thing
Yeah.
Tiger did. Like, I mean, you know who I respect? I respect like
Snoop. Snoop
I'll
Dogg.
never say nothing bad. I can't.
I can't
Family-
do it.
Family shit.
I can't
Family
do
shit.
it.
But I
Legacy.
will actually say like Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q. The reason why I do because
Yeah.
you can tell they're really from their gangs.
Yeah.
they
J
are.
Rock. J-Rock.
Because
Vince
they don't like glamorize the shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Like-
Exactly. It's not a selling point.
No, it's not. Like Schoolboy's out here really trying to have fun.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't want to go back to that shit.
That bullshit,
He's like, do you know
get
what I
away.
went through?
Right.
But it's the same reason they go back to Jordan Downs and they give away every Christmas because that's where they
They
come
know.
from.
Yeah.
It's
They know
not.
where to invest their
It's
money.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
That.
not a gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Schoolboy is from Hoover, and he went to Crenshaw High School.
Hello,
If y'all knew how crazy that is,
Westchester Comics.
if you knew how crazy and scary that is for somebody from his neighborhood to go to that school, that is enemy territory.
Yeah.
And he did that shit. Like, you better off being a blood at Crenshaw than from
Being a
Hoover.
Hoover, yeah, in the 60s.
Like, and he doesn't glamorize it. He just tries to make good music. Like Bounty Hunters, like J-Rock for Bounty Hunters. Like
Yeah.
Vince Staples who talks about his shit, but you could hear the growth in it. He's not trying to glamour. He's just telling you a story while the Lil Waynes and all them are trying to talk about it so you can get excited and buy a
Exactly.
record. Like, there were no Bloods in New Orleans before Lil Wayne got there. Before Lil Wayne started talking, I promise you, that is my second home.
I mean, if you know otherwise, you gotta show me because I believe the same thing.
Yeah,
like I didn't
I
know it.
agree.
They all wear blue bandanas in their
Exactly.
videos before. Remember? Oh, they
I
wore
remember
before,
that.
they all had blue bandanas on.
I mean, I was going there. I've been going to New Orleans since I was a kid. That's where my family is. Been going back and forth. There were no gangs. I remember my family used to clown me and like, y'all bang over colors. I'm like, damn, that does sound kind of crazy.
stupid.
But we do know it's more to it than that.
Right. It's
But
territory.
I do feel like more of the roots are here in LA because coming from Chicago, I mean, it's certain neighborhoods that would gang bang harder than others in Chicago, and then other ones where you just automatically kind of knew that they ain't for real, but they for real. But it's taken seriously in certain spots of Chicago, and they was all coming from here though. You know what I mean? Like it was all originating from here, and then they would
No.
move it.
Actually, that's not like shit. We got a gang out here that's pretty prevalent that is originated in Chicago.
What's that?
Black P Stone, which is 5 minutes from where we are right now.
Yeah.
So,
I ain't never heard of that one.
started here, went out there.
No, that's not true.
And got popular.
That's
when
not
they came
true.
back.
I promise you that's not true.
No, how did
You
it
can
start?
ask T. Rogers. That's not true.
How did it start?
T. Rogers brought it out here. T. Rogers is originally from Chicago.
And when he came out here, he joined the gang out here.
Nah, he brought Black P Stone. Black P Stone is older. Black P Stone started in Chicago. He brought it out here.
And it was a Crip gang out
It
there?
wasn't a Crip gang. It was
was just a
just Black
gang.
P Stone.
Okay.
The blood thing started in like the late 70s, like mid to late 70s. There were no Bloods. It was just gangs who weren't Crips. You had the Bishops, you had the Brims, you had the Black P
The
Stones.
Dolphins, the Sharks, right?
The T-Birds.
So you had actually, you know what? For anybody who wants to like get any like real information on this gang shit, like there's a dude on YouTube who goes and talks to men who are 50 years old or older. Like he makes sure he goes after the oldest guys possible to get the true knowledge on Crips and Bloods. His name is Kev Mack. Kevin Mack videos on Instagram. Dude does an amazing job.
Let me say something real quick, too. Alex Alonso with StreetGangs.com is local. And he also does a lot of intensive research about gangs and gang history across the country, but specifically in LA. So you can go to StreetGangs.com and look up stuff, too.
He is good. He started this shit. But the reason why I bring up Kev Mack is because he gets to the originals. Like, his goal is to get to the like, why. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we here now? And a lot of these dudes some of these dudes still alive. They're in their late 50s. Some of them have just gotten out of prison and are in their 50s, and they have a story to tell. Like, they're like, yo, I was in high school with the dude. I was there when it started. Like, and one of the funniest things that they say is had most of the ones who were there from the beginning will tell you that it had nothing to do with community activism. Like, they were 13 years old.
They weren't thinking about that.
They were really, they were 13, 14 years old when they started the Crips.
Damn,
it's a great way to romanticize it, though. Yeah. The origin story.
Yeah, I get it. I get why you want a better reason for why we're doing what we're doing, but they were kids.
Okay, so what was the reason then? It was just for the sole purpose of because I'm here.
It's so funny that we're going into this, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Soldier Boy brought us here.
Soldier Boy.
But this is important for
and
people.
Ray J.
This is important for people like Soldier Boy because you don't know the origin of this shit. You don't know we done lost so many motherfuckers. You want to keep playing around with this shit,
right?
So it started because Raymond Washington got slapped by a dude from what's the gang? The Avenues.
And this is like early 70s.
This is early 70s, early mid 70s. He wanted to be from the Avenues, and this dude named Craig Munson, who is an Avenue, he's still alive to this day. He's like considered he was one of the best bodybuilders from the hood. Like, you can look him up. He was huge.
Lived in paint cans.
He was a grown man though. He was a grown man though. So this is no shot on Raymond Washington. He was bigger than Tookie. Yeah. Way bigger. Like, and Tookie was still a little boy at the time too. And Raymond Washington was claiming Avenues, and Craig Munson wasn't feeling it and slapped the shit out of him like, you ain't from no Avenues. And that pushed him to start the Crips. Now, the name Crips or Crippled or Cribs, and that, it's a few people who have different interpretations on how that happened, but that's how it started. Yeah. And then it just grew. Mm-hmm. Like, they said his personality was just one that just brought people together, and it just went from there. And
what month did they teach this in LAUSD? Because I went to Westchester. I didn't learn none of this shit. Right. All right, okay.
You should have never went to. You should have never went to Westchester.
What month was this? Was this Black History Month? Was this a special lesson?
This should be Black History Month.
I missed all of this.
There was games before the Crips and Blood.
Yeah. There's always
crews and fight and they
the Sharks and they dance in the street. Right?
I hate her so much.
They dance and they snap their fingers and things.
Hey,
it would happen on the West Side. You West Side Joe from West LA Joe.
No, West LA.
I know, I forgot your name. West LA Joe. You know about that? They sing and dance on the West Side.
We did not sing and dance in West LA over here. In Black West LA, we did not sing and dance.
No.
Tiger say he from West LA.
No, he did not. That little motherfucker.
Who said that? West LA baby. Who was that? West LA baby.
No, that's Man. That's Man. I fuck with Man. He follow me.
Oh.
He's a good dude.
He follows you.
He's a good dude. He's a solid dude. He's a solid dude, man.
Man, cool. He want us.
He is a cool guy, man.
Hey, man.
He LA dude.
Okay.
All right, so now, that was funny, but we're going to get to something that isn't so funny. We got to get to R. Kelly, his perverted ass.
Man.
Like, Tiff,
yeah.
I really wanted to bring this up because you had a lot to say. Like, I follow you on Instagram.
I didn't say too much.
You said some shit.
I didn't say a lot, but what I said was quality. How about that?
Hey,
Kept it sweet.
It was.
Concise.
What did you have to say?
Oh, just open forum.
Because it was we've been open forum.
I mean, to be concise, to keep it short, R. Kelly should be in jail. I hope statute of limitations are erased, and as we see, he's being held, or rather investigated for the possible acts, the alleged acts that he's committed. But I think even before that documentary came out, Surviving R. Kelly, people knew what he was about. A lot of people turned away from it because he was padding their pockets. A lot of people turned away because they enjoyed the music. We're all at fault. We're all at fault for placating and allowing him to get as far as he has because we built that ego. We helped perpetuate that ego. Absolutely. But for the victims, I think that we definitely need to check all that and allow these victims to continue to say what they need to say, support the victims because they are true. Whether they were adults, whether they were children, R. Kelly is a victimizer, and R. Kelly needs to have his feet held to the fire. And as you can see, RCA and Sony just dropped him.
Why do you think so many? Let's start with them. Why do you think so many women will defend R. Kelly?
I think a lot of women defend.
And what do you think they're what are the reasons? And
yeah, for sure. We're gonna pass it to Fee as well because there's definitely another lady at the table. But I think a lot of women defend R. Kelly because of their fandom. They enjoy the music and they claim to be able to separate the man from the music, the history of his egregious ass acts, violent acts from the music. I also think that there are repressed issues in each person that absolves people of guilt, for whatever reason. Absolutely. For whatever reason, you don't look at a victimizer as what they are. It's because of something that has conditioned you to not do that. Either you've had the same experience and you're not yet ready to admit that, or you yourself are protecting victimizers for whatever reason. And R. Kelly is a star. People protect stars. But I'm going to let Felicia jump in because she has a lot to say.
Everything you said. Everything you said.
This is Felicia from New Dinosaurs.
New Dinosaurs, Music ISB, a.k.a. Everything you said, and this whole subject triggers me. I was 16 years old, and there were adult men telling me how my body made them feel. And so I have the understanding that not only is R. Kelly a pedophile, I'm not going to say alleged. You can sue me if you want. Fight me. He's a pedophile, and he's narcissistic, too. He's a narcissist as well. The only reason why he reached out to Iyanla to try to, fix his life is because he wants people to think that he's a good person because a narcissist needs you to think that they're good so they can continue to use you and tear you down and, use you for what they want to use you for. I understand that hurt people, and that he was a victim as well. But once you realize you are a victim, you have the responsibility to get help. You know what I mean? Yeah. Forgive yourself for not knowing better, than to allow, quote unquote, those things to happen to you. But get help for it. You know that you're victimizing people. You know that, especially you know what I mean.
Currently,
hello.
It's not like this is something that's, First of all, it really did make me just reflect on this. I don't understand how this documentary just enlightened so many people, but I am included in that where I'm just like, out of all the allegations, two things we knew for sure is that he married Aaliyah when she was underage. And we definitely knew that he peed on that girl.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are two things that's just indisputable.
And they turned my stomach.
And
that's
it was like, it's like when you when you're a person that's supporting the black community, it's harder for the black community to vilify you despite of all the shit that's right in front of you. It's just hard.
I'm laughing at the people who try to defend. I'm like, you saw it.
You saw that.
I saw it
that
in
happened.
high school.
We know that. We know that.
We saw this. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, if you never saw this documentary, because I didn't even see it. I didn't have to see it. Mm-hmm. I was like, if you never, because they're all telling me.
It was just a review of the things we knew.
And they're telling me, no, but this woman said this and this woman did this after. And I'm like, I don't need to see none of them. I don't even need to hear what they talking about. I know that he married Aaliyah, and I know he peed on that girl. If he never married Aaliyah, I know he peed on that 14-year-old girl, or 16-year-old girl, whatever.
14.
Okay, shit. I'm like, you saw this, and you're going to try.
One thing I want to address also.
And why are women defending the fuck out?
Right, women defending them.
Can I say what they say all the time?
Go ahead. I know what you're going to say, but I'm gonna piggyback off.
They always say, well, shit. When I was 16, I was dating a 25-year-old, and I knew girls who and you already on it. You already on it, Joe. The thing is that at 16, 15, 14, 13, you had no choice but to be a dummy. You're not developed to understand how to make smart decisions, and so you have somebody who knows that about you,
and it's going to prey on your insecurities, on your worth, on who you are.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sorry, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, kind of off mic, and I even copped to being a 16-year-old who dated someone who was overage. The terminology in itself is wrong. I didn't date a 19-year-old. I was victimized by someone who was an adult. And just as Dee is saying, if people are conscious of, and we talked about this too, Joe, if people are conscious of the intentional harm they're doing to others, then they're wrong. Point blank, period.
Yes. And we were talking about this off mic, and I said I was wrong. I was 19 at the time, and I was dating, let's not say dating, I was illegal as fuck, fucking a 16-year-old.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and I thought the shit was cool.
After you did that, and now reflecting upon that, did you start to seek out young women or underage women because you could manipulate them?
That's not my thing, no.
It happened one time or so?
Yeah, that's the
and you
only
copped
girl.
to the fact that was fucked up.
Yeah, it really helped when the little homies was like, "Are you really up at our high school fucking with this?"
Right, people called you on it.
I was like,
people held, exactly. There was, like Felicia's saying, music is saying, there was accountability. R. Kelly, people like R. Kelly, and there are many of them, continue with their behavior.
he's been doing this for 20 years.
20 years, 5 years, 1 year, 1 month. They continue with their behavior because they don't acknowledge that it's fucked up, or they acknowledge that it's fucked up and they don't care. Yeah. So if you're continuing to cause intentional harm to someone, I don't care if it's a male or a female, vice versa, however you want to flip it. If you are out there trying to harm someone and take advantage of someone and manipulate someone, you are wrong. And then if you take into account that it's a child who doesn't even have the cognitive ability, the awareness to be able to defend themselves against your manipulation, you're double fucking wrong.
You know what's crazy? Because I think about this. I think about the community. I think about, like, how we're raised, black men, you know. Like, for one, black men always talk, you know, yo, you need to be out here fucking. Like, you getting some pussy? You need to be out here fucking, bro. Like,
here we go.
Like, my cousins were the first ones who I knew were, you know, kind of shooting at the young ones. And we would see even older ones than my cousins up at Crenshaw High. Because my family is all around Crenshaw High School. They're pulling up in a dope cars and shit, and the high school cats would be like getting pissed because their girlfriend, the girl that they want, is walking away with this 28-year-old man.
Westchester was great for that, for adult men pulling up to the flagpole at 2:50 p.m. waiting for dismissal, or to the games to look at the cheerleaders or any girl who walked by the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. And I know what school R. Kelly was at. That was our.
You was in Georgia.
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago.
So I went to Hyde Park High School, which is the rival high school for Kenwood, and looking back on it, you know, I remember being in high school and seeing the older dudes, and I had homegirls who was like fucking with the older dudes and all that, and so just remembering how normalized that was. Hella normalized. It's like, it was uncomfortable. And it was like real, like part of true conversation. And like, you know, I don't know if you saw the documentary, they were saying how R. Kelly was at these high schools, you know.
McDonald's.
I know which McDonald's, y'all. Like, it's just.
My barber from Chicago told me about that when I was 19 or 18 years old. He was like, yo, R. Kelly be at the high schools all the time. Yeah. He was from Chicago.
I'm not completely sure if I should be talking about this on a podcast, but it's relevant.
That means you should.
So, maybe a few weeks ago, I shared something on Facebook, just sort of in relation. So, I was kind of introduced to sex around 13, 14. I was walking home from school one day, and this woman, she was probably no older than 35, 36. She pulled up and asked me if I needed a ride home. I got in her car, I fell asleep, and when we got to her house, which I think, looking back, I think it was in Largo, me and her spouse, you know, engaged in things, and that was kind of how I got introduced to sex. And, you know, it happened a few times. And all throughout high school, I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't really engage in sex with people that were my age. They were always like 10 or 15 years, you know, older. And the point in all of this, I'm not just sharing to share. The point in all of this is I just want parents also to be mindful of how they handle these situations. I think oftentimes the response from the parent is to punish the kid. And I know girls who had boyfriends that were older and literally got kicked out of the house. Just to share my own story, when, my parent that I was living with at the time found out that I was, out here having sex with grown-ups who I know now were predators and were preying on me because,
okay.
I was like the little ugly high schooler that was insecure and just easy. I got kicked out. You know what I mean? I got kicked out. There was no motion to file any charges against anybody. I was 16 and I got kicked out. So I'm just putting that out there just to be mindful to parents, caregivers. And nobody forced me to do anything. Nobody was, I thought that what I was doing was okay. I thought, it was, fuck it. It's sex,
and that's what these adults
know.
They know.
Yeah, right. So I didn't get until, honestly, probably a couple of years ago that I was definitely being taken advantage of. And I never stopped to ask myself this question, like, why aren't they pulling up to 25-year-old people and asking them if they need a ride home?
Right.
Why are they pulling up next to me? This kid, they do not know. And mind you, I lived like maybe 2 miles down the road. It took me maybe 40 minutes to walk home. Why are they pulling up next to me asking me if I need a ride? It never occurred to me, but when you're that age, you know what I mean? Like, just check up on your kids. Like, see how they are, see where their self-esteem is at, see where their mental is, because, if those things are out of whack, they could very easily end up in that situation. And, that's just a component that I want to make sure that we touch on too. There's a reason why these kids are vulnerable. There's a reason why some of these kids are so easy to grab. Some of these girls, not all of them, but some of these girls who end up with these older men, they end up with that maybe because they feel rejected by people their own age. Yeah, maybe they feel like an outcast, and that's a lot of what I was going through. So of course I know that now, and as a 27-year-old, there's no, like, I wouldn't even entertain somebody under the age of like 24. You get what I'm saying? So I know for a fact that what was happening was wrong. So that's just my piece. Just check on the babies, make sure the babies are okay mentally, so they don't, get manipulated by some grown up.
Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah. So
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta ask what if a 22, 24, older 30-year-old man is messing with a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, or at high school, you gotta, like, as a young lady or something, you gotta ask, like, what's their motivation? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you still a kid, but you gotta think, like, what's a guy like that?
I had no idea. I had no idea that he was a creep. I thought it was a cute guy that liked me. I was in the mall with my friends, 16 years old. In the mall with my friends, I see this cute guy walk up. He chooses me out of the bunch. How you doing? I tell him my name, my age, give him my number, whatever. He calls me. We start talking. He tells me he's 21. And I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, how do I? Right. Do I tell my mom? No. Do I tell my dad? Hell no. My dad. Hell no. I know your dad. Hell no. You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't know, and they know you don't know, cousin. It's not up to me to, to think in that position. It's up to him as the adult to be responsible and leave me the fuck alone.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, a dude who's hanging up at high schools is like, if you watch R. Kelly, you didn't watch it.
R. Kelly is still on the hunt, guys.
He's still
in the club a few weeks ago.
The thing with R. Kelly is he's addicted to control, and it's easy to control a 14-year-old boy who's walking by high school, who's walking by himself. It's easy to control a 14-year-old girl who it's about control. It's about, if you had sex with, you say, a 16-year-old girl, it was that kind of thing of like, she called me daddy. They're addicted to that, That's what it's about. That's what it's about, that control thing. So as soon as he got caught and went to court and almost went to prison, every girl in that documentary after that point was 18 and older. He knew how to stop at 18. He didn't have to. He just knew, like, I'm trying to control people, make them do what I want them to do. So it's his responsibility.
I do want to get back on kind of like what Mo was talking about, because we don't talk enough about, I know we're talking about R. Kelly, but we don't talk enough about the fact that, like, boys
Yes.
are being molested by women, like
And
grown ass
men.
women. But I specifically want to talk about them being molested by grown women.
Yeah.
Because when it's a man, automatically like, yo, you got molested. But when it's a woman, like, yo, you fucked a grown ass woman, bro.
What's the typical quote unquote Americanized fantasy of teacher and student? You get caught alone with your beautiful teacher. That's the fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Teacher or some sort of older woman who's clearly older than you. You're in high school, and
Yeah,
I mean,
hey,
if we can look at
listen,
porn,
absolutely. Hey, look, judge me if you want. That is my search.
yeah.
That's my search on Pornhub.
So there you go.
It's normal, and
And we,
even
I
with the-
didn't think it was wrong.
Right.
I was like, why wasn't it me? When I found out,
Why wasn't
what
it me?
That's why your forearm's so big.
Both of them are though. I don't switch.
But that's
ain't
true
no
though.
Jack-
Like we we think about like they are like big ass forearms. They are. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't want you to get it straight. He already did it for long enough. It was
Popeye.
Moles are big too.
We are not thinking about what mentally fucked up way we are affecting these guys, because even within this whole R. Kelly thing, I do also hope that mental health is also being recognized with this, because he got molested by older women as well, and then that is what continued this cycle, because now I think he spoke about sex was introduced to him so early, where now that was on his mind at 8, 9, 10 years old. Right. So he probably was doing that and fucking with other kids at the same time. But I guess you're the same age, so that's not technically, molestation or But then that you grow older, and now you're still stuck with that with that mental and what that idea. And so it's like whatever your first sexual experience is, it seems like that sets the tone for everything else that happens afterwards and your relationship with sex.
Yeah. I do have some questions though about, all right, let's say R. Kelly. R. Kelly, what if it was just him marrying Aaliyah?
We would have all got over it, because there's many artists who have done
So
Elvis.
it wouldn't have. We would have let that.
over it.
We would have let that slide.
We would have.
As long as
we
she
could have been
proved
like,
to be,
because we could have said that was love at some.
as long as Aaliyah didn't show any effects of anything, people
Yeah.
would have let it slide.
Okay.
You know.
She still died when
Okay.
she did it.
Because I
is
bring
crazy.
that up because then when R. Kelly was brought up, then they started talking about what was it, Puffy's,
Yeah.
what are Puffy's baby mamas, who was underage.
Misa Hilton Brim.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
But
was-
still, I mean, it's still underage. It's still
it's wrong. It's wrong.
Period.
It's
but people
wrong.
would have been.
It's wrong.
People would have looked away,
But I
which
see
is
the reason
which
why
is bad.
No, the reason why I bring
She was 16.
So
15,
she was
16.
16 when she had his oldest
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
And then it's probably 15 when they was dating.
Yeah.
And he was around 24. I think.
Yeah.
24.
the reason why I bring it up is because, like, all right, we got R. Kelly who continues to do this shit.
Wherever he's at.
He is who he is. He does what he does.
Right
and
now.
he
At this moment, he's doing
yeah.
it.
He does. He can't stop. He cannot control it. He cannot control it.
Pissing on somebody.
But
Right now.
yeah, he cannot control it. But then they start bringing up other people who've had instances where they did this or they put it in a song where they said, because I listen to hip hop songs from the 90s all the time, and it was the norm for them to talk about fucking a 16-year-old,
Because I
like
the
from
young
E40 from E40 to the Dog Pound.
Big
And I'm gonna tell you this:
Jay.
Music Soul tried to tell y'all nasty motherfuckers. He put out a song called 17, and I believe it's from his Just Listen album. And he was talking about how is it from Just Listen? No. I think it's from the first album.
I just
want
wanna
to
sing.
sing.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was messing with this girl, ends up finding out
I
that
do remember
she's
that
like
song.
17,
so he's got
and he
weight.
tries to break it off with her. Like, here's an example of like,
That's what a grown
you get what I'm
ass
saying?
man would
Like
do.
he honestly did not know that this girl was underage, and as soon as he finds out, he's like, no. No. And I remember hearing the song, and that was like the first song of its kind. It's kind of the only song of its kind that I've heard since then, because there are other references that I can't necessarily name offhand right now of other rappers and singers that have referenced, you know what I mean, the possibility of being with young girls sexually in music, but never made it sound as something repulsive. They make it sound like it's something exotic. It's like this sweet forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
And so I just, kudos to Music Soul Child for doing that.
Hey, but okay, so I brought that up because, you have somebody who's doing something continuous. Then you have others who may have done something in the past. How long, do we continue to, just say they're wrong? Do we not listen to, because people are like, if we're gonna stop listening to R. Kelly, then we need to stop listening to Diddy, and because he did this at that one time, or this person did this at this one time. When do those past offenses go away, or do we just?
I feel like if they count on us to support them as far as like financially, they owe us an apology. I feel like Diddy should say something. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like that's just how it goes.
So no matter what you've done in your past.
Well, here's the thing though. If you did it in your past and you keep going, fuck it, I'm keep getting away with it and keep doing it.
No, I'm saying you did it.
If you did it in your past, everybody fucks up. It's like we lynch people for like fucking up one time.
That's my point. That's my point.
Nah, it's cool. Like if Diddy come out and say, "Yo, man, I did that. That wasn't wrong. We should we should protect black girls. Hashtag whatever," and comes out. Because this society today is so fucking fake, I wouldn't know if it's honest, but we'd be like, okay, Diddy.
But can we really?
It's cool.
We got to talk, because growing up I will say this, as a black man growing up, I do a lot of wrong. I've done a lot of wrong as a black kid, black young man, black grown up. I did some fucked up shit. Like I wanted to beat up everybody. I wanted to, punk people and bully, and I did some shit.
Can we let we got somebody on set. He kind of want to chime in.
All right, let me continue this though, because we're coming up in this, so we have a lot of growing to do, because we're getting taught one thing in the community. They were realizing when we get out of this shit that shit ain't right.
And as two men talking right now, just real talk. If like the camera wasn't here, nobody else. I'd be like, I understand you fucked it, bro. I have too, and that's okay. We're not allowed to do that on Instagram.
That's my thing.
And that's the thing. Like most people believe in all that fake shit. People believe in all that stuff. Like as soon as somebody messed up, we like ready to throw them away and do stuff like that. And that's not normal. Like that's not cool. Everybody who's your hero is fucked up sometime. They just might be better at hiding it.
Right.
Yeah. One of the listeners actually brought up something. He hit me up and he's like, "Yo, man, I applaud you for your growth and everything that you do now. For pushing this. Basically, this community is love between straight black men, gay black men, like letting it go, like stop judging, stop clowning, stop being disrespectful." Because back in the day, I guess he checked out my Instagram from back in the day, because I've never deleted nothing like from back in the day, and I used to have like this shit called No Father Friday.
Yes.
You remember that shit?
Yes.
Or Fatherless Friday, something like that. And basically, it was just some homophobic shit. That's what it was. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like it was basically some homophobic shit.
And because you didn't understand.
I didn't. Yeah, no idea. I didn't think. I mean, I knew I was being disrespectful, but
you didn't care.
I didn't care.
You didn't respect.
No, he's like, I don't know none of them.
Yeah,
but that's R. Kelly.
But see,
that's R. Kelly.
See,
that's growth, and that's R. Kelly. Disrespectful, victimizing, manipulating.
But I'm saying,
but doesn't care.
But I'm saying nobody. I had nobody to tell me that the shit was wrong. I didn't gain this. Like I came.
Accountability is the word.
Yeah, I came. I always talk about, like, I had a homie who actually like kind of brought me to the light. Like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you talking about these people like that? Why are you tripping? Why you care who's fucking who? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, why are you disrespectful to their lifestyles? I had a homie who brought me to that. He didn't actually say those words, but he was a friend. And then it made me, it just like, yo, this is my homie. What am I doing? Like, I would never disrespect him, so why would I disrespect basically his lifestyle? Mm-hmm. So that's why I look back at that, and I'm never gonna delete it because I want you to see like what I came through.
Bro, I feel the same way.
I don't want you. I want you to know who I was and how I felt because I wouldn't. D has been in my house for just me and him. Back in the day, D would never be in my house, just me and him. What? So the homies could say, "Oh yeah, the gay dude at your house, you gay." Never. I wouldn't.
Do you still get any type of backlash or not backlash, but like?
Nah.
You're gay?
Me?
I'm just kidding.
Talk about get the gay shit up out of here.
You're gay?
Fuck you, me.
I love when he acts like that. This is amazing. I love when he acts like gay.
Very gay. All right.
I thought he was just wearing the sweatshirt for fun.
No.
Wait, I'm wearing the sweatshirt. Hold on. I ain't gay.
That's right. You just didn't know better.
So in the spirit,
Here we go. Here we go.
in the spirit of camaraderie between straight black men and queer black men, I would also love to see them investing together more. I really, really think that there is an untapped genius and an untapped market in us going in business together. And that's something I want to see happen more. If you, let's say you cut hair and you have a gay friend that does hair, go into business together, open up a salon.
Wow.
Or maybe you know what I mean? Maybe you've always wanted to get into real estate and you have a gay friend that's a lawyer. Y'all, you know what I mean? Like sit down, figure it out,
Or
buy at the block.
decorator.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Decorator.
or hire a decorator. I want
Y'all really like stereotypes, don't you?
Yes.
Nah.
Yes. Because sometimes they're true.
I'm
Sometimes they're true.
I'm just.
Come on.
I'm
Gay men
just
decorate better than anybody. Come on. Let's give
I'm
them
just
their
starting
props.
with that.
I know we're not talking about straight men decorating. We can. That's another conversation.
Look at my house.
I'm just starting with that, but just coming from a queer individual myself, that's something that me and many of my straight male friends, we talk about that all the time. Like, let's get this money together. You know what I mean? Whenever we talk about Black unity, I think, I always think financial literacy should be at the top of the conversation, even if I don't always do a good job of practicing it myself. And one of the ways that we can do that, one of the ways that straight black men and queer black men can help each other is by putting our money together. So I really want to see that happen. And seeing this platform lets me know that hopefully this can become a trend in the years to come, because we need it. Only we can save us.
No, this is real. This is why we're doing this, and I feel like I'm not saying I'm the perfect one for it, but shit, kinda. Like a little bit. Because
You're not scared of the repercussions.
right, and I used to be though. I always talk about this one time, like when I rode up to Beverly Center, or not the Beverly Center if you're from LA, the Beverly Connection.
Beverly Center,
I was across the street, Beverly Connection, and I got out the car with me and my homies, and we had our 3X or 5X black tees on.
Oh, this is back in the day.
Back in the day.
This is 02, 03.
Trying to be like really sticking our chest out, like what's happening? Where you ready to get it cracking? And my older cousin, actually, he's a year older than me. He sees me, he's like, Joey. Hey, he's gay. My cousin.
How do you say it?
He was like Joey, and he ran up to me, and I tried to give him the homie, the man hug, which is the handshake hug, and he said no, and he put out his arms, and he's like, "You gonna hug me?" And I hugged him because that's my cousin. Like I was like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I ain't going in front of my cousin. So I looked at my homies. I'm like, yo, this is and this is the other thing. Like my cousin is his mom is white, so like, and my dad is light skinned. His brother, you
don't say.
My cousin's dad is very light skinned as well. So he looked very white. So they're like, "Is this really your cousin?" Like, yo, this is my cousin, man. But
I mean, ultimately, we are black people, not just men and women. We are black people before our sexualities. So if we're talking about unity. Yeah, so
that's what I tell people all the time.
Period.
Like, if you're gonna separate us with bisexuality, then we're not gonna go nowhere.
Exactly.
Because some of the people that you look up to, we're gay.
Yeah.
But they were in a time where they couldn't say that shit. They couldn't be that shit.
Right.
But here's the thing. Go ahead. While I get what you're saying in not separating people by sexuality, understand that for a lot of queer black people, that identity is important to them. And they want to know that they can be around their people, black people, and be themselves. Because I'm going to tell you something. White gay people do not have our back. Latino gay people do not have our back.
Oh, we know.
These other communities, don't have our back. So please understand that queer black people, when we're looking for somebody to just get it and understand, we're looking at y'all.
But that's my point. That's my point. But
Cool dose, motherfucker. Like all of that. Like I can't emphasize how fucking true that statement is.
That's why I agree, because I know he knows that they do not. But when I say like it should not matter, like we shouldn't care, like that's me saying like come in and be who you are and let us just be who we like. One thing that we've kind of grown together, me and D, like I come in, I talk about women I'm dating, I talk about my weekend, I may be talking about fucking and all this shit. D, when he first started talking about his what happened over the weekend and him fucking, I'm look.
His mama listening. Stop it.
No, we gonna talk about this.
She know I fuck.
Yeah, she know you out here. D was the only one getting. D was out there. Like we was in Italy. D was fucking.
Chill out.
Me and D was.
This is a respectful young man.
This my little brother. We was in Italy. I was knocked out. I woke up in the morning.
He was knocking. Huh?
Yeah, he was out there getting it. Riding on mopeds or something. With some man. I was
He's blushing. He's fucking on a moped.
He turned burgundy.
What happened?
So look.
He's burnt orange.
But look, my thing is that I had to I remember him and the other homie, my former co-host, John, they used to try to walk away and talk about what they did for the week. I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna talk about what I did, I gotta be okay with what y'all did. Fuck it. It ain't my norm, but it's y'all norm. Like, tell me, I don't care.
Right. And your norm isn't their norm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and swallow whatever issue. Like,
No pun intended.
I was like, look, my expression is gonna change. My expression is gonna change as soon as you say what you say, and then eventually it won't, and it'll just. And now, when you talk about it,
that's very true.
When you talk about your
it's
shit,
like natural conversation, and there was a transition moment, but he was willing to play that. Let me exercise this. How much I can.
And kudos to you for wanting to all right, let me stretch my wings out and try to get better at doing this, because society tells you straight Christian men are in charge, and kind of everything else. If you don't have to see it, you really don't have to.
Yeah.
So you have to take an effort to see a homosexual man. You have to take an effort to see black women.
That's my brother. That's my brother. John, that's my brother. So I was like, if I'm gonna be there for him, and you're right, because when I think about you talk about where you coming from and all this stuff, my family, I have a cousin who completely, in his own way, supports me. Every time I see him, he's an old school dude. He's damn near, I think he's 50 now, or close to it. And he's like, yo, what's up with you? You know what y'all gonna hear? I want y'all to hear this. My cousin, who actually supports me, but in his own old ass way, will go, yo, what's up with you? Me and the fag. Well, how's it going?
And
I put my head down. I'm like, it's called Me and the Gay Homie.
Look, just now when you said that, I went, oh, God bless his heart. Because I know that's the only word he knows to call him.
He doesn't think it's wrong. He does not even think it's wrong.
Exactly.
Because he's trying. He said, old black dude who's trying. Exactly.
Yo, he really believes he's okay. Yeah. He's like, what's up with you and me?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
God bless your heart.
So all right, maybe this is a millennial thing. I was born in 91. Are you willing?
Everybody went, damn.
Damn.
10 years
I
younger than
was driving in 91.
Smell like baby milk.
I fought a war in 91.
Are you willing to check an old head when they're wrong? Now, my generation not every generation is cool with that. But are you guys willing to help them unlearn some of these things?
I'm be honest.
And if they what? We'll leave it alone.
He's right. He's absolutely right. Because I mentioned it the first time.
How did that go?
He was just like, hey, okay. He was like, he's like, I'm cool with fags. That's how he went. He continued.
I love fags.
He continued. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care if you a fag.
What?
Like he really like that's how he is. And then so now I'm like, I'd rather get somebody younger. Like I'd rather just talk to somebody younger and influence them because I like he's gonna die eventually. I love my cousin, but I'm just saying he's gonna die. And it's gonna be okay. Like he's not gonna influence more to say fag. You know what I mean? I don't believe that's gonna happen. That he's gonna influence more to be archaic like he is.
I think that's
my nephew. Now my nephew, who he's from the hood. Yeah. My nephew's a little thundercat out here in these streets, but he respects it. He's been on the podcast. He's learning. He's learning and there's a whole new generation learning.
It's very important.
I was gonna say I was talking to an old family member and he was like, "Man, you see that I forgot who he was talking about. Someone on television who came out or something like that." And he's like, "Yeah, that boy's super sweet, but it's cool that they letting him do this, and that." So I had to kind of like swallow the fact that he was like, they called him sweet, and he said some other word that might be kind of derogatory, because his whole point is every human being deserves respect and love. That was his point, and because he didn't use the right terminology, he had to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because he's from a different generation, so it's like sweet to him. Kind of makes it was like.
Hey, Marcus. Hey, I want you to say you had something to say. I really want you to speak up real quick, man.
Oh, 6 minutes. Yeah. It's so easy. I tell him all the time, men are cavemen, bro. We're cavemen. It's like this is what we want. We want orgasms and don't stress us out.
And food.
And that's why a dude would cheat on a dime with a 6. Because it's like all I want is food.
I need to catch that.
Because I want orgasms and don't stress me out.
Dude,
that's all dudes want.
Orgasms that don't stress you out.
No, and don't stress us out.
Stress me out. So a dude will cheat on a 10 with a 5.
Hey, let me tell you something about them 5s. Them 5.
They know they 5s.
No, listen. Listen, them 5s be having some fire ass. The 5s be having some fire ass pussy.
I'm sorry. Have you felt like you just had the best sex with ugly people?
All right, I'm be honest. Yeah. I've never really fucked with an ugly girl.
Not the best.
All right, one girl. I fucked with one ugly girl.
It was pretty prominent.
I fucked with one ugly girl. Look, listen. But look, she wasn't.
She was appreciative.
Look, this one, she was actually. I needed a what do you call it? A slump buster.
A slump buster.
Yeah,
he says.
Yeah,
a slump buster.
I was like, I grabbed her by her hand. I was like, let's go slump.
So listen. All right, hold on, y'all. Because I want y'all to hear this disrespect I'm about to give. So look.
Shield.
So look, I was talking about slump busters. All right, that's not. Yeah, it ain't cool, but I'm gonna give you the real. I am who I am. So back in the day,
we are rolling. Yeah.
Can I hear it? Can I hear myself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like it way better than I can hear myself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, a slump buster is when you haven't had sex in a while, and you need somebody to get you over that hump.
And they're the slump buster.
You need that confidence.
Yeah. You need to get through it one time so you can get to somebody you really like.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. Are you a piece of shit for doing it? Absolutely. You are who you are. That. No, you're a bad person. I was a bad person, and I fucked that girl who was a slump buster, and I'll never forget her. She was white. I have only had sex with 2 white girls my whole life.
And we're talking about this publicly?
Absolutely. We're gonna do it. I'm Joe.
Thanks for helping.
I'm West LA Joe.
Sure you want to talk about
I talk about my life here. This is my heart.
That's not black power. That's black sour.
No, me and a gay homie is my heart.
Black sour.
Me and a gay homie is my heart and soul. So
black sour.
So y'all gonna know everything about me.
Your black has soured. It's no longer
am
powered.
I drunk? Yes. Have I had too much almond
Why
champagne?
your eyes so low?
Because I'm drunk, and I'm gonna keep talking about this. But look, listen. So
Marcus has something to say.
Was one of her titties bigger than? Was one of her titties bigger than the other? Yes. Was she unattractive? Yes.
What was her?
Yes.
Huh?
God.
If she was from 1 to 10,
Open your eyes.
personally, I would say she was a 4. I would never talk like she was horrible. Absolutely. But she kept hitting me up on MySpace.
Not MySpace.
Absolutely, MySpace.
Your old ass.
I know. I'm old.
About this damn MySpace.
No, you're not talking. How old are you?
Like Black Planet.
It could have been worse.
We all can be 27
Yes,
forever
one of her
right now,
titties
though.
was bigger than the other.
We're black.
But I fucked. Hey, the funniest shit is when I left, right? Because I knew one of the homies that lived in her apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
She lived on Sinella and the Azure. No, the Azure.
Right,
The Azure
specific
apartments.
Wait, a white girl who lived in Inglewood?
Do you know the Azure?
Oh, so this is like this is early gentrification. Yeah, you helped fuck up Inglewood.
No.
You helped.
No, she was a different white girl.
You opened the door and let her in.
No, she was a different white girl.
Uh-huh.
She was a white girl that only had black friends.
Permitted her black.
Oh, she only had black friends.
Yeah.
Oh, so you,
She's woke. Hey,
No, I don't know if she was woke. I don't know. I don't
You know
know.
the secret.
But look,
Only
she
have black
kept
friends.
hitting me up in my messages. I was gonna say DMs, but we didn't have DMs in
In
MySpace.
MySpace world, right?
She kept hitting me up in my inbox, and I was like, man,
she was in his top 8.
no. She was in my low 300s, but
No, 3.
but I was like, shit. She keep hitting me up, and I ain't getting no. I need some ass. I need some pussy. So I went over there, and it wasn't even good.
Was it seasoned or?
Did you think I tasted it? No, I didn't. What the fuck? I'm not. Look, at that time in my life. Look,
For
at
the
that
record, the turkey meat was dry.
Oh,
No, that shit wasn't dry.
it was turkey meat.
Because I definitely used a condom.
Oh.
Did I? I've only used a condom like 2 times in my life.
No, you did not.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I am so
I know
joking.
you're joking.
And you know I'm joking.
times.
I've never had nothing. No, I've never had nothing. I've definitely used condoms.
Nothing that can't be cured.
No. I've never had anything. I promise you that.
It's all gone away
Joe
now.
gets tested, and everyone should. All of you. I'm looking
You
at all
tested
of you.
everybody.
Special fried rice.
I'm a gay man. I have to
Blue
get tested
waffle.
all the time.
You
Blue
better.
waffle.
All right. Look.
Joe said any of you ladies who are listening, he got some special fried rice and blue waffle for you
I don't.
over here at the house. He is a chef, and he got you.
Tiffany's a hater. That's cool.
Chops it up
Hey,
and serves it.
all right. Before we move on, seriously. Hey, everybody, I definitely want to hear what Marcus had to say. Like, no, yeah,
That's
you
a
hear.
horrible segue.
No, it doesn't matter.
Was there a segue? Was there a segue?
Ain't no segue. I'm on both microphones right now. Ain't no segue. But
Ain't no segue, bitch.
But we got to make it happen because we have to move on.
We do.
We have a whole show.
We do.
We got a whole nother show to get into. Let's go.
We not leaving.
That's
Exactly.
what we're doing. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, y'all. This
Hey,
is
Marcus.
Marcus.
Hey, I like your Frank Ocean
Yes.
bandana.
Black man. Hi.
Oh.
How you doing?
Talk right to
I
the
am
mic.
black,
And
even though I look
beautiful.
like Cambodian or something. I'm black.
Come on.
You know.
You act like
No,
we
I'm
don't
just
see your
playing.
skin color.
Right. Yeah. No. So I don't know. What do I want to say?
Whatever you want to say, brother.
What were we talking about?
Sexual experiences, R. Kelly, predatory behavior, accountability, dating older.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't have anything specific that I wanted to add at the
Then,
time.
motherfucker, why you raise your hand?
No. Wait. Hold on. If I can just, I mean, all I can really do, I guess, into that aspect is speak to just experiences.
And don't say too much because we want to have
I'm
you.
not,
No.
no.
The reason is we want to have you on the podcast later.
Okay.
So just say what you
Very cool.
He said speak loud.
Okay, no problem. So, I mean, I've had a lot of experiences generally as a young man with older men. That's kind of just been my norm since I was like 13 or 14, quite honestly. And that's pretty young. So, like, I can definitely tell. Like
13 or
looking back-
14 with what age?
13 or 14? What do you mean? To what
Like,
age? Like,
yeah, I'm saying you were 13 or 14.
like
How old
maximums looking like 27, 28.
God
You know what I
damn,
mean?
okay,
Yeah,
that's,
like
that's not cool. That's
yeah,
not okay.
yeah.
Maximums.
Maximums, like at the time, because quite frankly, I think I've and I've said this to D many times. He's a friend of mine. the older I got, the older they got, you know, so like, you know what I mean? So 13, 14 was in the late 20s, and then, you know, getting into my late teens, I started dealing with guys in their mid 40s, and then, you know, getting into my early 20s, now I'm dealing with a man that's 54. So, and you know.
Right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that your preference?
Yes, it is my preference. I do have a liking for younger dudes. I mean, you know, like they look good to me, but for the most part, you know, I think I can definitely more so, you know, like engage, more comfortably with a man.
Why older?
You know, I just feel like I'm learning so much more. I feel like the interaction is just rich. I'm engaged.
So you're just looking forward to new information.
New information. I mean, my guy right now, I mean, he's so cool. Like, he helps me like figure out like my books, and you know what I mean? He's just really like just.
Do you feel that your experiences while you was a teenager, or early teenage, do you feel that those older gentlemen were predatory to you?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, when you guys were talking about it earlier, I was actually on the back.
That's what I was thinking about. Like, even now,
yeah.
do you feel like those older men are like kind of taking advantage?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I was just thinking, like I said, when I was off camera, like thinking back to a time where I was dealing with a dude. I was most likely like 16, and he was most definitely like 26 or 27. Bodyguard. He was staying in Hollywood, and I would go and kick it with him, and like I would. He would fuck me on his massage table. I mean, like that's how it would happen. Like, you know, period. Like that's what it was. And I mean, he rented a room. Peep though, like he rented a room in a house from some Russians, and like I would walk through the house. I'm a kid. I know I look young now, so imagine how young I look.
You were 16?
16. Taking. You feel me? Like I just. This was my.
Okay. No. Seriously. Like,
no, but yeah. So.
All right. You just admitted that you know it was predatory.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So how do you feel about that?
Thinking back on it, I mean, I knew that I was making choices that, you know, I should have had my head in other places.
You say that, but you're a child, actually.
Correct.
Victims often blame themselves.
That's why I say what I'm saying. Yes.
I'll say, wait.
I know. Hold on.
But Pete. Let me explain this let me be very clear, because I've been faded. Listen, okay. I've been fucking for a long time. Period. You know, these experiences are not new for me. Mm-hmm. I was on apps. That's how I met the dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I personally made choices to get on apps and not even necessarily say that I'm older than what I was, but like have it on my profile as 18, 19, but you know, be very outward with it, because that's just the kind of person that I am.
Okay, but being on apps and all, but game is game.
Yeah, game is game. Game is game.
Because I know, like, being my age, like, can I go holler at an 18-year-old, 19-year-old? Yeah, I'm going to game her up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get that. I know that. Because she 18. I know exactly what to say to her. Like, now, Joe does not want to take advantage of anybody. He wants actually a real conversation. But I know I can if I want to. So I'm saying, do you feel like the game was put on you? Because I know you can say...
I mean, yeah, I can say the game was definitely put on me. Like, let me be real. Like, I guess, yeah, like, if I'm really, like, thinking on it, I mean, like, for example, security guard, I mean, he boasted, like, such a very high-profile career, you know what I mean? Like, he had money. I mean, I can speak to one specific experience where, I mean, we were fucking, and he was on the phone handling business at the same time. So that felt cool to me. I felt like that was dope. Like, I don't know. I felt like that bitch. Like, it was a rich experience for me. Like, it was just cool. Like, I don't know.
I'll say, wait, time. Real quick. How old are you right now?
I'm 22.
I'm just trying to do some math because I used to work security, so I'm trying to see if I know him.
I mean, so he's from Miami. He was, you know, boasting.
I know him.
Boasting, doing security for the Jacksons, and you know, I had photos, but I mean, regardless, it was all something that, first of all, at the time would have been something like glamorous and, you know, cool for me, being that I was a singer and was performing arts, and
now
you know,
with a 50-year-old, you say, right?
He's 54.
Like,
yeah.
Do you ever feel like it's you feel like a victim ever? Like a fetishism? Kind of like he wants a little black boy. You know what I'm saying?
I felt like that with this white dude that I used to talk to, but that was exactly what it was.
Do you feel like you're a fetish?
I don't feel like I'm a fetish with D. Well, not this D, but the other D.
D, are you fucking? How old are you?
This nigga.
Not this D.
You're 54?
He talking about another
Like
D.
no crack.
I'm actually 48. Thank you.
48. Wow.
First 48.
Yeah, no. Just for the sake of confidentiality, I'm gonna call him D. But no, I do.
So Daryl, you're.
Is everybody here's name start with a D? Wow.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Everybody's gonna be.
That's
like,
great. Okay.
No, but I do know for I feel like I do know for sure like that he definitely likes like a skinny younger black dude. You know what I mean? I do kind of be poking fun at him like, yeah, you want
just
you.
don't take their drugs because we've seen a lot of articles about.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't smoke or he doesn't smoke or drink at all.
Oh, so he really likes you.
Oh yeah, I don't. No, I just wait.
He either likes you or addicted to the sex or like you.
I don't have sex with him though.
What?
But this is what I'm telling you.
All
Like
right,
he just buys me stuff.
This is hold on. This is more important. I love this conversation even more now. So what do you do?
I don't.
Hold on.
Can okay.
Okay.
Question.
So this is a relationship, but there's no sex.
Well, you know what?
does it
Okay.
entail? Okay.
It was a relationship.
Okay.
I considered it a relationship. So did he. We engaged sexually occasionally, and then in the new year we broke things off. But there is still gifting and just presents.
Okay.
You know.
Reparations.
Exactly. Like reparations.
I hate to be so.
Well, just repairing my material, closet, all my things that I want. But I know for sure, like,
I hate to be so. I can't stop laughing about it.
yeah. But he definitely knows, like,
So
I'm
you're
not
not
having
fucking
sex
him?
with you. You know, nigga, like, it's not happening.
So it's not, but he's not a sugar daddy.
But he's not a sugar daddy. He really likes me and said that he fell for me. So like,
And you like him as well.
I did like him. I
don't
thought.
like
See,
him.
here's my thing.
You don't like him now.
No, I don't like him now.
So you're a piece of shit. Who is
I
taking
am a
advantage-
piece of shit.
That sounds like a sugar daddy.
Don't talk about my friend like
No,
that.
he's a piece of shit who's taking advantage of this good white man. who
He is
doesn't-
black, okay?
And he's getting something out of it as well.
I
so.
made him. I
Let
made him
me
white
shut
on
up.
purpose. I made him white on purpose.
Yeah, I'm shaking.
My subconscious made him white.
Do you also feel that because your first sexual experiences were with older men, that's what you're set to feel attracted to?
Those your first sexual experience?
Well, he said that when he was younger.
Yeah.
Pause. My first sexual experience was with I was probably 12 or 13, and he was like 18, 18 or 19. And I think from there, I knew like this. He young, he ain't old. You feel what I'm saying? Like I already knew then, kind of that I liked older dudes. I liked just the aesthetic in general, just like an older man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I will really be like descriptive, seasoned skin. You know what I mean? Like, I like me a grown ass man. Like,
He's
like
a
stop.
yeah.
Like,
He's
you
just a
know,
yeah man.
give me a salt and pepper goatee.
The
like,
wrinkles provide friction.
Exactly. The wrinkles provide friction and durability. I mean, what do you mean? It's already been stretched.
Okay.
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 Because y'all young, see?
I'm old as fuck. What are you talking about?
Well, okay.
Hey, all right, man. We appreciate. Hey, man. I thank you.
I want to say our next episode after this will be all about Marcus.
Yeah,
so
No,
he
for
gave you a
real.
wonderful prelude
that's
to
why-
what our episode's going to be
that's
about.
That's why I was cutting it off because I don't want to give too much.
Too much, y'all.
And now-
So tune
and
in
now-
for that next episode.
And now we are
guys.
about to get to what everybody's here for. 1-in-1 Records. We want to know about everything. We want to know. We don't know. We want to know everyone's story.
Thank you.
All right, go pee. Tiff is gonna start this off.
I got you.
I want to know how this started, why it started, like what pushed you to even do this, and
Great.
why you have the artists that you have.
For sure. So 1-in-1 Records was started because I have a pretty lengthy history in the music industry.
Can we talk about that?
Absolutely, we can talk about that.
And where
my
you from?
disenchantment with
Where are you
where
from?
am I from originally?
Yeah.
I'm originally from New York, but I was raised here. So I'm more so a Cali resident or a Cali person than I am anything.
What part of California?
Southern California, Gardena specifically is
Oh,
where I
that's my
spent
last
the
name,
majority of my
guys. That's
time.
what's up.
Right, exactly. But having worked in the music industry for different big labels, Universal Records, Blackground Records, right after Aaliyah passed away, what's the one? Hidden Beach / Motown with Jill Scott at the time. I worked for a few labels, and I really found my, I guess my way, I would say, within the industry, and my way wasn't necessarily compatible with their way. And that's just the industry changed, and we all, if you're old enough to know, you realize the change that happened in the industry from artist development and kind of a grooming type of format into just ready-made music, YouTube being scoured for music and artistry. And I didn't like the way that the industry went. And so I backed away. I was in the industry for many years. I was an artist as well. So I was on the other side of things. And as a female artist who rapped and wrote music for other people.
You rapped?
I rapped. You know that. Come on now.
I didn't. I honestly.
Not only did I rap, but I rapped well.
I don't believe that.
I rapped well. I had a song that was out. One song specifically that was pushed and did really, really well.
I want to know. I want my listeners to know. I rarely like female rappers.
Yeah, I wasn't pegged by my colleagues as a female rapper. They saw me as a rapper. So there you go. Tell them the truth and shame the devil. So
I want to hear whatever this record is because
I'll play it for you at some point. I'll send it to you. You can edit it in at some point during the show. No problem.
I like two female rappers.
Yeah, well, me too. Rhapsody. I don't like female rappers.
I love Rhapsody. And
I like Jean Grey.
Yeah, that's about it.
I grew up with the MC Lights and the Yo-Yos and the Bahamadia and the things like that.
Can I say something? Yo-Yo does not get enough credit.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
She does not.
And the only reason she does not get enough credit is because she's from LA. Straight up. That's the only reason.
But even though, today you have, we're not going to get into necessarily the conversation about female rappers, but you have your Jean Greys, you have your No Names, you have your
No Name is dope.
Ill Camille.
No Name is Ill Camille is dope.
That's the homie.
I was wrong.
Camille is the homie. So
I really
anywho,
do like some female rappers.
I was on the other side of things, and I was told at one point by many people that if I wanted to ascend, and it was at the time that certain rappers were ascending, they were starting to grow, that if I were going to follow on that path, I had to change my look. I had to be more sexualized. I had to be more commodified.
And that's why I don't like female rappers.
I didn't like that. So I backed away from the industry, went a completely different route, went into education. I've been a teacher for a while. And after observing the industry for many years and consulting and dealing with people who I knew who were in the industry, wanting to grow and trying to help market or write or whatever it is, whatever I could do to keep my hand in the industry, from hosting radio shows to writing blogs or writing for different publications, reviews for things.
Well, you're really an amazing writer.
Thank you very much. So I kept my hand, on many different things, but I decided I wanted to put out products, people, artists who were what I grew up listening to. And I wanted to project that quality. And so I said the best way for me to do this is not for me to apply back to a label. I didn't want to work for a major label. I had friends who were doing it and they were disenchanted as well. Free concert tickets and a decent salary isn't enough. I decided I wanted to go ahead and start my own label. And after ruminating, thinking about it for a while, you try and come up with your name, and that was difficult for me. But I looked at numerology, and my birthday is January 1st, 1 and 1. I always see 11-11. You see 11-11 on the clock, you make a wish. You see 1-11, you make a wish. And looking at numerology, 1 being a number full of leadership, full of order and strength, I decided I wanted to name the label 1 and 1 Records. And so I then set out to kind of cultivate the artists I knew already who fit that bill. Came across Mo County a couple years ago, heard his music. He has an EP out right now called Quarter Life Crisis, which he'll talk about. After hearing that album, I decided, you know what? I got to get this dude on my label. Amazing singer. Bugsy Capri, quality rapper and producer. I said, and this another person who needs to be added to the list. I need him. Felicia, Musica SB, and New Dinosaurs, just such a unique group, a unique name, first of all, which drew me in. And then the music itself reflected the uniqueness of the name, the quality of the name. And so I built my team. And I talked to them. I told them what I wanted to do. I made pledges. I've tried to stick to those pledges. And we've been rolling, and things have been going so well. People have been showing us so much love and confidence, and the opportunities have been rolling, and like this show specifically. And just being able to get our names out there. The association that I already had to the industry, my own history. I went to people I knew who said they would help if I wanted to do something like this. I called them on it. People always say, you know, I got you. I'll help you. I got you. I went to those same people and I was like, oh, you got me, right? Help me. I need you. You cannot be so arrogant as to think you don't need help. I'm fine with asking for help. It may not be the easiest thing all the time, but you have to rely on other people. It takes a village. We know that. So I went to people I knew who were more connected than myself, who had advice, who had constructive criticism. And I said, help me build this label. And they did. And now we're here. And it's been a couple of months only. And we've done so much. And I'm so confident in them. I'm so proud of everything they've done.
You're really moving.
Yeah.
I remember it was like a couple of months ago. You hit me up. And I was like, what? Music?
Yeah.
Like, I hate music. No.
We have such
artists.
a big. We have such.
I was like artists, you know, because I had a bad experience, with. I tried to manage and like I saw, because there's a thing, talent is one thing, and then there's work ethic. Yeah. Which is way more important than talent. I don't care what anybody says.
It is.
To me, that's the difference between a lot of you won't know about this person, but a Razzcast. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who Razzcast is, look him up. He's one of the most amazing rappers of all time. Razzcast, and then a Gucci Mane. Work ethic. Yeah. Razzcast is...
Interview Razzcast on one of my shows in the past, so I know.
And but he's one of those people who believe that he deserved everything. Yeah. He's like, you're supposed to give this to me. I'm the best. Mm-hmm. Gucci Mane just said, I'm just going to keep putting shit out. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna keep making songs.
Right. We got so much of an audience out there that's artists that's in between and don't know how to get to that part and starting from the beginning. And it's about very much understanding how to use your resources.
Yes. I'm dealing with 3 adults. Mm-hmm. We're all adults. Everybody has responsibilities, jobs. People can't take off of work to be at a show, you know, and I can't fault people for that. Yeah. But it's about meeting people where they can be and trying to push people, my artists specifically, to rise to where they should be, because they're deserving. They're deserving as much as anyone else out here who's on the radio, who's, you know, getting the airplay, who's doing the platinum records or the gold records. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason Bugsy shouldn't be number 1 when Tyga is number 1. You know what I'm saying? This is quality. There's no reason New Dinosaurs shouldn't be playing on KJLH constantly. That's the type of music they put out. And any soul music station across this country, there's no way Smoke Alone shouldn't be a top 40 hit right now by Mo County. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to do that.
Okay. So let's get introduced to your crew. Yes. Who's the first person you want us to chop it up with?
Let's just go clockwise. Shit. I'm gonna go to my left. We have Mo County.
All right, can y'all switch seats?
I'll get up.
Yeah. So
I gotta go to the bathroom too.
It's all good.
Edit that out. Mo County, everybody, I love him. You'll love him. You've heard him. He's honest. He brings a refreshing honesty and humility to everything. He thinks he's shy. He thinks he has stage fright. He might, but he battles through it. He battles through it. And the man can sing.
He can sing.
He can sing. He can sing.
Nah, he can. I'll listen to.
Smoke Alone?
Yeah, to the music you sing. Whatever you sing. I don't remember the song, but.
What you sing?
I don't know. What you saying?
You breaking everything?
I didn't break that. That was my hair that caught that. I didn't break that. Ow!
That's my dude. That's my digital antenna. That's how. Look, that is how I watch Bounce TV. Don't you ever fuck that up.
I apologize.
Bounce TV.
Yeah. All right. Yo, Mo, and we're gonna talk about where you're from and everything, but
okay.
This woman told me you sing like Whitney. She said that.
She lied to you.
In the email, it said Whitney.
She lied to you.
She didn't give a last name, so maybe it was a different Whitney. But
I think she meant to tell you. She meant to tell you that I am a very big Whitney Houston fan, and I am. Anybody will tell you that. Okay. Whitney, Mariah, Janet, those are my divas right there. You talk about them, and we're gonna have to shoot the fair one.
Okay, so tell everybody where you're from.
I'm originally from Silver Spring, Maryland, so that is a town right outside of DC. Those of us who are from that area just refer to it as the DMV area.
Okay. So, how long have you been like shooting to be in the music industry?
I have been pursuing a music career for the last 16 years of my life.
How old are you right now?
27.
Oh, so you've been at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to audition for things, little school plays. When I moved back up to the DMV area, I auditioned for the Apollo. When I was about 15 or 16, I think I auditioned for the Apollo 2 or 3 times.
Any success in that?
No. But I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't good enough yet.
Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way?
Because if I was good enough, I would have got picked. So
no,
I think I had
not necessarily. Like that does not.
I don't know what I'm saying. Why do you feel that? Like what was missing?
I think I just needed to hone my skill a little bit more. You know, I was recording music at 13, 14 years old. I have recordings from back then, and there are so many things about my voice and the way that I used to write songs back then that were different. You know, sometimes you just gotta fail for a little while so that you can get better. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think that that's just what that was. I had to get better. I had to work at it. I had to become a better singer. I had to become a better writer. I had to get more creative with the ways in which I wrote songs. And in the 16 years that I've been trying to do this, I'm hoping that with Quarter Life Crisis, I've finally mastered a sound, or at least, you know, the ability to create a good song.
How do you feel about your music right now?
I love my music. And what I love about Tiffany is that she embraces my music the way that it is. I've worked with a lot of different people in the past. I've been offered a lot of really bad record deals from local labels, and just all people that wanted me to make records that I just wasn't really comfortable with. You know what I mean? And that's I want to write about the day to day. You know what I mean?
And that's what Tiffany like
bustle.
pushes, like, yo, do you. Like do
Yeah. We don't have the R&B song for that. We have a million R&B songs about fucking, you know? Mm-hmm. We have a million R&B songs about heartbreak. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind singing about those things too, but where's the R&B song about the shitty day you had at work? Where's the R&B song you had about the bills that you were stressed out about? Where's the R&B song that you put on to celebrate moving out of your parents' house and just and you know where is that?
That's so important. Okay, I remember the first time I actually heard a song where it was not boasting. I'm talking about rappers anyway. Mm-hmm. They weren't boasting about like sex or being tough or being cool. It was Murs. I don't know if you guys know who Murs is, but some of you do. Like Murs had a song called Pain.
Okay.
And he was just talking about not being like, basically not being the most attractive guy to the girls and not getting the girls and all this. And it was just like, damn, I haven't heard somebody be
vulnerable.
Yeah, be vulnerable like this. Because, I mean, I feel like I've always been a handsome dude, but I haven't always gotten the girl. I haven't always felt that handsome. And I had somebody say this, and I was like, yo, so you have bad days? You're a rapper that has bad days. Mm-hmm. That's important. We are regular people. For the most of us want to hear somebody who is speaking to our daily lives.
And I feel
that's an important thing.
And I feel like now more than ever, I know a few artists that's like really up on the come, like they about to do their shit. And now with the generation that we're in now, I feel like we're open to more of that independent thought instead of you having to sell out for those deals you're talking about. Like, we're beginning to have a bigger span of imagination and want to hear more than what the same shit we've been hearing all this time, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, look at the way that the R&B landscape has sort of changed a little bit. with artists like Khalid and Daniel Caesar, sort of.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a sign that there are people from my generation and even further down that are just demanding some authenticity. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not everybody wants a sexed up 18-year-old sold to them all the time. Yeah. And I think I really do blame that for R&B's decline towards the late 2000s going into the early 2010s decade, when R&B sort of had this moment where R&B artists weren't selling records, R&B records weren't charting. And, you know, with this decade, we sort of saw this resurgence. And I got to call out SZA. SZA's another example of an artist who just put out this record with Control that was just so honest and raw. And don't get me wrong, you know, Black women artists, you know, are always expected to talk about their pain in R&B, but they're not allowed to talk about the growth. They're not allowed to talk about what happens after the heartbreak. And the men too, and that's what I want to do. I want to talk about it. We can talk about the heartbreak, fine. We can talk about the job you lost, fine. We can talk about the house you lost, fine. But let's talk about the rebuilding of those things too. I don't want music that's gonna encourage you to just wallow in your sadness. I want the music to medicate you. I want the music to soothe. I want the music to encourage you to make your situation better. If my music makes you depressed, if my music puts you in a bad way, then I don't feel that I'm properly serving you know, whoever my listenership is. So I really, really try as a songwriter, when you have a chance, you know, I'm not sure if you've listened to the entire EP, but the EP, it's very short. It begins with a song called Sally Mae. Sally Mae is a song in which it's you know, pretty on the nose, but it's a song about how student loan debt slowly starts to affect all these different aspects of your life, right?
It's about school loans. Fuck Sally Mae.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck Sally Mae.
Fuck Sally Mae.
I find you.
And you know, we talk about different things. There's some songs about relationships. There's also a song on the record called Bitter. And that song is literally about repairing a friendship or repairing broken relationships that, you know, may have been severed due to just emotional negligence on both ends. You know what I mean? The last record is a song called Nest, which I literally wrote years ago after moving out of my parents' house and just having all of these feelings. I know I'm ranting at this point, but my point in this is that I want there to be an R&B song for R&B lovers for every occasion, and we don't have that as much as we should. So I just hope that I can deliver that in a way that can still be consumed by people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be too fake deep. I want music that'll get you through. So,
and I also
long answer. Sorry.
No. We're talking to you.
Good answer.
You give all your
Good answer.
however long your answer takes. We want to hear it all.
Yeah.
That was very good. Yeah. And we also want to talk about sexuality. Because you did.
Here we go.
No, we have to though.
Yeah, we do.
We have to because, I mean, for us, for the people who listen, we basically have one person who we believe is not straight in the R&B world. One man who isn't straight, which is Frank Ocean. Like, because everyone else who we pretty much know isn't straight, they never said it. Now, how do you feel about sexuality, not being queer? How do you feel about that in the R&B world?
Am I allowed to give a completely brutally honest answer?
That's the only answer I want.
Please.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hopefully this does not come back to
the
haunt
world
me.
right now.
Okay. All right. I think that when Frank Ocean came out, sorry, you guys know I've been sweating all night. The queer community, the Black queer community, thought this was great. We finally had someone, you know, and I think that we wrongly placed an expectation on Frank Ocean to sort of be our representative. And I think we put a task on him. We put a burden on him that wasn't necessarily his to carry. And rightfully so, as was his choice. I think he chose not to carry it. However, I think there are a few others in sort of that world. You have your Steve Lacy's, you have your Blood Oranges, you know what I mean? You have, there's some other queer artists out there. As far as me being a queer black guy making music, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm terrified. I'm so terrified of being rejected, by my community. And it is something I think about every day. It's something, my friend Shireen is here, who I've known for 9 years. 9 years. And I talk with her about this all the time, because, getting a room full of black people to like you as a queer person, versus getting a room full of black people to invest in you and invest in your talent as a black queer person, those are two totally different undertakings. You know what I mean? They're two totally different missions. And I fear every day, so much to the point that when I write songs, I don't use gender. Because I am that scared of alienating straight people. And I'm scared of alienating gay people. So I literally just don't use any gender. If I'm writing a love song, or I try to stay away from, I don't write songs about sex at all. And this is something I really never talk about. But the reason why I do this is because obviously I can't hide the fact that I'm queer. I've been living my life this way for at least the last 11 years. So I kind of just, put a lot of this into Tiffany's hands, and I just sort of let her reassure me, because, every step that I take doing this is a scared step. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm very terrified doing this, and there's a small part of me that's like, well, maybe you should listen to people that say, nobody wants to hear, a gay R&B singer. Nobody wants to hear a queer R&B singer, a bisexual R&B singer, pansexual R&B singer. You should just go and write, But I'm passionate about this. I love this. And this was another long ass answer, but I'm terrified. I'm petrified, as I talk to you right now. So.
Look, man, quit apologizing for your long ass answers, because,
that needed to be heard.
Yeah, we needed to hear it, because that's all emotion. I felt it.
Going back a little bit to the Frank Ocean situation, I do feel that he was given that type of responsibility to try to take this pole for gay men, and he definitely didn't want that. And I think we were trying to give that to him so much because he was he was that non-flamboyant, more easier to digest type of gay dude. And when you try to have a gay artist that can be fully open and talking about men in his songs and anything like that, we're not getting that at all, because nobody is up for that type of challenge. And it is. I can't even imagine having that type of outlet in my music, as a gay man. That's, just even thinking about it right now is so out of the box, and it's a gamble. It is. I know I would love to have that, and I know I have a community that would, but it is a gamble, but at the same time, you'd be the only person in that market,
Exactly. We're taking things and we're using them to our advantage, not trying to exploit truth, but using the truth because it is his truth. So why not use it? Why hide it? And I've told Terrence from day one, I'm not putting him out as a gay artist. Right. I'm saying I'm putting you out as an amazing artist who happens to be gay. If you talk about it, fine. People ask you about it, talk about it. It's your truth. Just as you are a black man, why would you not? This is not admonishing him at all, but my own question to myself was, why hide that part of you? You don't have to hide it, but your talent in itself is what got you to this point. I didn't choose Terrence because he was a gay man and I went, you know what? Oh, I got a gay guy who can sing and I'd be perfect. That's the gimmick. We in there. No, his heart and his talent is what have him at this table. Or art is what? I'm drunk a little bit. I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy.
This is the thing, because
Can't
I am
conjugate
drunk.
verbs.
God damn it.
His abilities are what has pushed him to this point. And his sexuality is something I feel that when he discusses it can be groundbreaking in a way that it gives light to and it gives a voice to those people who have been quiet or fearful in the past. If we use it that way, which is why one of the main reasons I wanted to come on this show specifically is because of the sexual diversity, the diversity in sexuality. I didn't want, we've had offers to go on other shows, and that's fine, and they're coming because we need press, and that's fine. But this show is important for me as it being the first show we've been on together as a collective because of your respect towards difference and your inclusionary practices. And we're very inclusive. We are we are all Black people on this label, but we are very diverse. We are very different. But the thing that unites us is not only that passion, but it's, not to be all platitudey, but it's our spirits and it's their talent that I revere. And for Terrence, I respect his fear, and I just don't want it to be a hindrance because to me, you take that fear and you repurpose it and you help other people overcome their own fears. Your music itself is powerful, and it is so. It's not ordinary, it's extraordinary in the sense that it conveys the everyday happenings of people. And we need that. And you talked about that. So there's no fear in being yourself. There's no fear in talking about the ordinary. There's no fear in being regular. More people should be.
So I wanted to bring this up. We talked about this off air. So we talked about Frank Ocean, who openly came out, said he was gay or bisexual or something. I'm not sure, but he spoke out on that. Now, personally, all of us know Luther Vandross was gay. I don't care. He ain't never got to say shit. We knew Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson. But I've heard people say that they will not listen to Frank Ocean because he's gay. I don't listen to that dude. And I'm like, so you don't listen to Luther Vandross? Like, yeah. I'm like, but he wasn't gay? Like, he never said it. So you're just going to be blind and just, okay.
Joe.
Yes.
And what did you just say? He never said it, right?
So that's why I'm talking about it, because so these people had to hear it. They're in such denial, like for their own personal story. Their own personal story.
And that's also an older generation. I think this generation is ready for something else.
Absolutely,
open to that,
for sure. And that's why I'm happy that I'm happy there's like a new. And we don't talk about it enough. Like this generation, even in the hood, like there are gay,
homo thugs.
They're gay boys. They're not just homo thugs, but there are gay boys who are being able to just go to class, go on the playground, go to, do whatever, and they are not being harassed.
There's a group. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
There, of course, we all know the Migos, right? But the biggest indie hip hop group in the country right now is a group called Brockhampton.
Oh yeah,
super
dope.
talented
They're
guys.
dope.
And the leader of Brockhampton is a gay rapper. And you want to know what he has? He has the cosign of straight men around him. You want to know what Frank Ocean has? Which is why he was still able to sort of flourish. He had his Jay-Z's and his Kanye's, and of course down the line his Travis Scotts that were still willing to work with him.
And also the fact that he came from the Odd Future camp, like that was huge.
That's what I'm
Now
saying.
look at what
And
Tyler's
even
doing.
Yeah.
Playing with sexuality.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
a whole
another,
other thing.
because he's playing with it, and
Playing with it
and
because he sees the money in it.
yeah.
And what I'm
he's
saying
not
is,
gay.
and to add to your point that it doesn't really make sense, for people to quote unquote not listen to Frank Ocean, but still listen to Luther and Freddie Jackson and other men who were suspected of, or were rumored as gay, is because again they had the cosign. You know what I mean? If you talk to any of those contemporaries from the 80s, from the 90s, well mainly the 80s is when Freddie Jackson was really, really active. But if you talk to any of those musical contemporaries from their time, they will attest to Luther's talent. They will attest to Freddie Jackson's talent. And I really, really, really think that is all it takes. That's, again, going back to what I said earlier, that is why we need you guys. We really do. We don't have the keys to the industry. You know what I mean? Queer men don't. Some may argue that, but we don't have the keys to the industry.
Because the audience is the keys.
You know what I mean?
That's what's making the
so we need that cosign. We need you
I
guys
actually
willing to
hear,
work with us.
Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
they say that you're pretty much saying like some people say that queer men do have the keys to the industry. What do you mean by that?
I mean people.
You couldn't say that without me letting it go. I couldn't let that go past.
There are conspiracy theorists that think the entire industry is on the down low. I don't care either way. But from what I've seen, if we truly had the keys to the industry, I feel like we would see, more Kevin Abstracts, who's the leader of who's the leader of Brockhampton. Sorry about that. We would see more Frank Oceans. We would see more Steve Lacy's. We would see not even just the boys, the girls. We would see more Sids, more Kaylani's. Kaylani is openly bisexual.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? One of my favorite
But you know
artists
the
right
difference. Like, and Kaylani is she's popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the problem, and you said Sid.
Mm-hmm.
See that
Sid,
I'm glad you brought that.
The
up.
internet's doing pretty. They
they're
do well. They
they're
sell
doing
out
pretty
shows.
good. They're doing pretty good, but they're amazing.
Absolutely.
They've never put out anything that wasn't top
Always
notch.
quality music.
Always
quality music.
But what's the difference between Kehlani and Sid? There's a look.
Aesthetic.
There's a look.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Obviously,
because even though she can say bisexual,
mm-hmm.
all we see is sexual.
That's true.
When we see Sid, we see, we don't want to fuck her. Basically, that's why they push a certain way. That's why they push it a certain way.
That is something that you straight men have got to work out on your own. We can't do it for you.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But that's also an industry push too.
I mean, I wish I could change the entire industry. I wish I could. All I can do, while talking on this mic, giving y'all these extremely long ass answers, is try to change a few hearts and a few minds.
I
can personally say I don't know if there's a bigger internet fan. I've been loving the internet since I first heard what was it, Love Song.
Yeah.
Dude, I found out about them from I think it was Don't You.
See, yeah, that's from their second album.
Cover,
that's
Underwater?
That's after Purple Naked Ladies.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
That's
I found out about them then.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I've been a fan since. that was new. That's new to me, basically, because Purple Naked Ladies was amazing to me.
Yeah.
But all I heard was, "You see who the lead singer is? She looked like this. She looked like that." I'm like, yo, but the music. I don't give a fuck. That music is fucking amazing.
And that's why we needed her, though. Because it's never going to be just one major push. It's these little micro things that work towards the bigger picture. And that's why I just want to completely encourage you to confidently fulfill what you feel your music should be fulfilling. And I know you will have an audience member here.
Did you listen to the song?
I did.
Did you hear the song?
I did. Before you got here, I was talking to him about it. You're talented. And I do feel that overall, that's what's going to win. You'll have enough support that won't be able to deny what makes them feel good inside when they hear it. You know what I mean? When it's there, it's there. It's not like you would have to push further for something that's not making people feel like that's what's ultimately going to, win the battle.
And keep in mind that when we have these conversations about sexuality, obviously I don't want my music to be just about that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously I don't want my existence to be just about that. And I guess that's more so what my fear is. When a queer artist reveals that they're queer, oftentimes people from the heterosexual community and sometimes people from the gay community who are expecting a representative will now make their career all about that.
Yeah,
the mistake that we made
Mo
with
County,
Frank Ocean.
You're the queer.
The mistake we made with Frank Ocean. The mistake everybody made with Frank Ocean, not just gay people. The mistake we all made, exactly. Mm-hmm. That now they're this new queer superhero. And if they say anything that doesn't affirm us, if they do anything that doesn't look like they're running for president of all queer people, then we automatically have to cancel them. We can't.
And I get that just on an artistic, level. Like my roommate is an actor as well. I am, and we have to be selective about the type of roles we take in the sense where I don't want to just be marketed as a gay actor when I can do straight shit too, or I mean, I don't know if y'all can believe it right now, but I'm saying like I can. That's what an actor is. They can put on different roles, and it's like you having to be careful not to market yourself as just a gay actor, because the moment they see you as that, especially if they haven't seen you as anything else, that's what they're going to think about you as, and yeah, you do got to be careful. Yeah, I get it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
No, go ahead.
I didn't have anything. I'm waiting for whatever else you're going to throw.
I want to get introduced to the next artist.
Yes.
Next artist will be, we're going to save the lady for last. Next artist will be Bugsy Capri, rapper, producer, South Central Los Angeles native, Crenshaw High School alumni, Walnut High School alumni. He did double duty.
Walnut High School, where's that?
Whoever represents Walnut High School. However,
in Walnut,
it further leads credence to the fact that the man is extremely diverse. He draws from many different experiences, many different just abilities are all intertwined into one amazingly holistically talented writer, rapper, producer, Bugsy Capri.
I'm gonna have you at the gates of heaven when I'm trying to get in. So, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm hammered right now.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
I think everybody's a little hammered.
All
Joe
right,
just broke the mic
I don't
off
even need
the
it no
stand.
more. We just gonna pass it.
The mic is supposed to be on something. It's now disconnected.
It's fucked up.
He's holding it
All right,
like it's a detachable mic. It's not.
So look, we're gonna
like
hold
the
it like
setup of
this.
this table, though.
It's a very nice table.
He made this, y'all.
I built it. That's why it rocks so much.
How much?
Yeah, look, this is one of my
don't know where
first
I'm gonna
tables
put
I
it,
ever
but
built,
how
so don't
much?
judge me
It's
too
talent
much.
at this table.
Don't judge me
talent at
because of the
this
way it
table.
feels like it's gonna break every time you lean on it.
And D is a model. Like, it's talent. We got
I know.
craftsy
Look,
modeling.
I just don't listen. I'm gonna fix this table though. Don't trip. It's my first table. I
Fix
can't
the
get rid
mic,
of
though?
it. Nah, we gonna pass it.
All right.
All right, no, but I wanted to grab because I took a couple notes and I saw. All right, I read that 10 years in the game. The thing that stood out the most to me, because I'm a huge fan of the whole collection of people that come out of there. Like you were rapping with some Project Blow folks.
Well, to be specific, I grew up in Project Blow, so I was going there in like elementary and middle school. So while everybody in the world was listening to like Snoop Dogg, which I love, Warren G and shit like that, I was listening to folks you like never heard of.
Like
who
Freestyle Fellowship.
Freestyle Fellowship, yeah. There we go, Pigeon John. Like weird, like the shit that like if I played for you, any kids right now, they'd be like, "What is this weird shit going on right here?" And I loved it.
Who would have blown up if they came out right now?
If they came out right now, everybody will be loving it. Everybody will love it. We were talking about Soulja Boy and how he kind of paved the way. I always said Soulja Boy and Lupe Fiasco are kind of like the godfathers of the whole generation now. This internet rap, being weird, being artistic, being strange, wearing clothes you never heard of. Like Lupe Fiasco and Soulja Boy are kind of responsible for this whole new generation.
I really want to say this because I've said this many times. Kendrick Lamar is who Lupe Fiasco was supposed to be.
Exactly. That's legit.
And another thing is,
legit.
Corrupt is who Peace from Freestyle Fellowship was supposed to be.
If Peace
There we
wasn't-
go. Exactly.
We gonna get to Felicia.
Now here's
we gonna
the
get to
thing.
Musica. She got a lot.
Musica SB
going
over
on.
here, part of New Dinosaurs, she's the one who put me on a Project Blow. So I wouldn't have had no idea unless she put me on. So shout out. Thank you very much, cousin.
And if you guys don't know who Project Bloat is,
If you don't know Project Blow is, there's documentaries about it. Read about it.
Freestyle
Fellowship. That's a good starter. That's a good starter for Project
but
Blow.
there's a documentary called Freestyle.
Yeah, Freestyle is all about Project Blow. And what's her name? The director, the one from
Ava
DuVernay. She used to
directed it.
rap in Project Blow.
Yeah.
She used to be a rapper in Project Blow, and here she
directed
directed a few
documentary.
documentaries. Next thing you know, she's a millionaire director from something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. She used to be a rapper. Her group was, I don't remember. Like, you can Google it, I'm sure. Ava DuVernay.
Yeah. Ava DuVernay.
Hey, Vodka said.
What do you call it?
Hey, hold on. Vodka said her name was DeVernay. So, anyway, so I grew up there. So my heart and passion was always with that artistic expression. It wasn't about jewelry. It wasn't about cars. It wasn't about killing niggas.
It's about battling.
It was about battling. Battling was about being funny. That's
How
it.
you won.
The
Like,
very
every
first
battle you were ever
raps I
in.
ever wrote were to be funny. Like, it was to make people laugh. My first raps were things like, what is it? Like,
Can't remember it right now. We're
Tiki
talking about how you won
Falls,
everything.
you shot Biggie Smalls. I know who really shot Biggie Smalls. Spit my lingo, eat my Pringles. I know who really shot. What do they say? They still looking for a condom size to fit my mandingo. King Kong melons, all dogs go to heaven. You want to see pictures of my kids? I got 7. Like, weird shit like that made people go, what did he say? Like, that was the whole point of why I started writing raps, because when you said in freestyle, like in a freestyle or a Project Blow or something like that, you just wanted the audience to go, oh. It wasn't about going, hey.
Right.
So I kind of come from a different. Though I do
It
appreciate.
was about saying something that means something.
It was about like folks listen to what your words were. Like nowadays,
Yeah.
you literally can mumble. Like mumble rap isn't like a funny term. It really niggas is really mumbling.
I can't believe it.
If you ask Future, if you ask Future, he said I was sipping scissor. And I was so drunk I couldn't open my mouth, and that shit sounded dope. So I did that on every track. Like Future really said that in the interview. He was like, but it sounded dope. So niggas is mumbling. It was the opposite when I first started rapping. So though I do appreciate young culture, because they said the same thing about us when we were like coming up making music.
I know, right?
They were like, this shit's stupid as fuck. Where's the Frankie Beverly and Maze? Like they said this shit was dumb as fuck.
You know,
so when I hear like what these kids like now, when they hear this shit, I'm like, okay, I feel you at the same time.
But the funny thing is, all right, so the rap that you're talking about, the genre of hip hop that you're talking about, like being from LA, being from the Crenshaw district, you kind of get some backlash for even thinking that shit is dope. Because my family, I'm West LA Joe, but my family, my cousins that I grew up with, that I looked up to, are on 7th Ave and Slauson. Between Slauson and 54th, right in the neighborhood over there. They used to clown the fuck out of me for listening to Razzcast and Exhibit and Ahmad and Freestyle Fellowship.
Right.
And people under the stairs, they're like, man,
What is this shit?
they're like, what the fuck? Man,
These niggas ain't
motherfuckers
selling
making
drugs?
No money.
What is this shit?
They ain't selling no records, though. Put it on that dog pound. And, and the funny thing is, I like all of that. I had
Exactly.
I had a CD case for everything. So you being from that same area, did you get backlash for not talking about the things that they
I
thought you
did,
should
bro.
discuss?
For sure, bro, because I saw the value in like my favorite Nas song wasn't like all the shit that he was talking about, like drug dealing. My favorite Nas song was New York State of Mind, because it was the story. You know what I'm saying? When he said, when he said laughing at bass heads trying to sell broken amps, that shit was like, because it was like real. It was
real life.
It was real life. So the shit that blew my mind, because my thing now is like, you can't be more hood than me because I actually am from the hood. So whether I talk about Superman in a fucking rapping Batman, or if I talk about selling drugs, that shit is hood as fuck, because I am from the hood. So my whole philosophy is, no one can out Bugsy Capri. So if I try to sound like so and so, or I try to do like this, and that, it's going to eventually it can get copied. It can do this, and that. But no one can out Bugsy Capri. Like if I talk about my dad, you didn't live with my dad, so you can't outdo that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but if
you didn't try to sell drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like I tried to sell weed and got laughed at because it was like I was corny as fuck trying to sell weed. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was like, "What are you trying to sell?" I'm like, "I just need money, bro. I'm trying to buy comic books." Like that's what the fuck I was selling weed for.
It's funny that you say that because like the camp that you talked about, like they had the same story.
It had the exact same story.
And it's like,
bro.
yo, we from Oakland, we from the Avs. What are you talking about?
Right.
But you were forced to believe that everybody from that area had to be sporting a rag.
Everybody was from 40s.
Yeah, so I grew
Actually, back then, nobody was from 40s. Everybody was from 60s.
Everybody was from 60s. Everybody was from
60s
60s or 50s or neighborhood.
Or BPS.
BPS. Remember that? Remember Born to Jack? You remember that?
Thank you.
At Audubon?
Marcus.
Born to Jack.
You remember Born to Jack? Or it was B2J. Do you legit B2K? They said the name B2K was come from B2J. You remember that? That was an Audubon.
All I remember from the cruise is
what
was the cruise?
Nothing But Trouble at Audubon?
Nothing But Trouble was around. That turned into a real Crip gang.
I'm about to grab the mic real quick because the one thing Bugsy hasn't gotten to yet, and I keep trying to get him to talk about it because it's very, very important, is how many battles this dude has won through Project Bloat or any other place that he has been at across the country. Not even just South Central Los Angeles.
Yes, let's talk about that.
New York,
Okay, all right,
Atlanta.
all right,
like
fine.
the dude is a rap battles. Like the dude
like
is
8 Mile,
winning.
like everybody,
yes,
everybody sweating, and everybody like, yo,
Mom's
motherfucker,
spaghetti is on his
yo, mama,
sweatshirt, you know what
like
I'm
that.
That's what we need to hear.
I'm like, you know, he's
So-
very
Let's have a battle
humble,
right now.
but
Let's go.
dude is a freestyle master. So talk about that.
That came from the same.
That's a
the
lost
same-
art.
That came from same Project Blow thing, and it's just what. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. The reason I won so many battles is because I won one battle, and this dude came to me at the end and he explained it perfectly to me. He's like, in a world full of fingers, you're a thumb. And the whole thing it wasn't because I was just better at everybody rapping. It's because I stuck out like a sore thumb. It's like everybody would rap. Literally, one rap I said it was a freestyle, but it was something I wrote. It was like I would literally had it planned. I was like, all right, I'm going to write a rap about a dude who raps about selling drugs and shooting people and being a gang member. All right. So I wrote a battle rap about that. Every single battle, like clockwork, I would go up against some dude who rapped about selling drugs, shooting somebody, or being a gangbanger. So then my rap clowned that whole thing. Like, let me guess, you finna rap about selling drugs. So I was killing people without even trying from a rap I wrote like a year prior. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So just being myself was like killing people. Just literally being yourself will destroy people because everybody else is trying to be somebody else, especially in rap. They're like, damn, this is what's popular, and they'll copy it.
Did you ever read Malcolm X autobiography?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you remember when
Hold on. Here, look at. I knew exactly what he meant though.
Look, Tiffany, this is your fucking fault. I wasn't gonna drink shit.
I love everybody.
I wasn't gonna drink shit before you came here.
Hold on.
You could have brought water.
Ava.
You could have brought sandwiches. All right, so I bring. So
hold on.
So
Ava DeVovney. What we say? Hey, Ava DeVovney and the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Autobiography. All right, so I brought that up because he was talking about debating, and you basically did the same thing.
You said what?
He was talking about debating in the autobiography. And he was talking about how he would learn. He would basically know everything they were gonna say, and that's how he would kill them in every debate.
Because you knew what their argument was.
Like he would study, he knew his part, and then he would go hard, like he was going to argue their part. So you basically did the same thing, and that's what.
Most of the battles I won is literally because I was like, I know I'm gonna go against one of three people. It's gonna be a gangbanger who sells drugs and kills a bunch of people. It's gonna be a white boy who feels he's really, 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 really special. Because a white boy feels he's super special because he doesn't rap about that, and it's all about passion and heart, and it doesn't matter what color you are. And even though I'm white, I can be this, and that.
What's like his name? What's his name? Who's been out? He just did the song with Chris Brown.
Oh, what's his name? The fucking
Lil Dicky.
Dicky, yes.
Lil Dicky.
That's his name, Lil Dicky.
Rest in peace, Macklemore, but Lil Dicky.
Yeah, I love
Lil Dicky.
Macklemore.
Actually,
I know, no, Mac Miller.
I like Mac Miller.
I was sitting here like,
I love Mac.
Autobiography.
Oh, you
You
fuck
like?
me up. You fuck me up.
Look at
I love Mac Miller.
You're like
Mac Miller's one of my favorite fucking artists, man.
Rest in peace, Macklemore, dude.
Rest in peace, Macklemore.
And rest in peace, Macklemore too. You ain't got no music to come out.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Rest in peace, Macklemore. You're trash.
Macklemore.
Your music's dead.
You ruined Goodwill for me because now all those Caucasians are in there. Look at Goodwill, and now I can't buy anything cheap.
You ruined Kendrick Lamar's
ruined that
first
for me.
Grammy award.
Bugsy said, Mo said if you want to send him a record, Macklemore, he's not.
Ryan Lewis sent him a record. Macklemore
Shout out
shit.
Macklemore. Same time you ruined Goodwill for me.
Listen. The ceiling can't hold me either.
I love this dude.
I want you to know this from the bottom.
Listen, if y'all don't have
Send
him,
me the record.
if y'all don't do some kind of like document, like video doc following this dude, he's hilarious.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, look, I'm not about to fake it and be like, no, you're just being. No, you're hilarious.
So Macklemore call him.
Hold on.
Macklemore call him. What was I talking about?
You was talking about.
Avi DuVernay,
No,
the
wait.
Ugga Bagga Bagga
Wait.
B of Malcolm X.
How did Mac Miller come out? Oh, because you said,
The white rappers
yeah, the white rappers. You knew they were gonna say certain shit.
Oh shit, that's right. So I knew I was gonna rap a 1 of 3 rapper, so I had raps ready for him. Well, I say the hood nigga who was selling drugs, killing people. The white, hey man, I can hear y'all. Come on now.
Wait, what happened? I heard my name. I heard that.
What you talking
We
about?
have
Time out, pause.
No, I eventually canceled the request, but I know for sure that I sent it.
Did you order tacos?
Wait, no. This is hang on. This is juicy. This is
Oh shit! Here, hold this.
So I'm gonna pull this down
What is it
very
under?
slowly. Giuseppe Gardena.
Okay. All right. I'm about to pull this up right now.
Is it on,
There may have been a request that was sent
On
about a
Facebook?
year ago
on Facebook?
And
on some social
it isn't-
media.
You know, it's nothing serious.
That
Just know
Joe-
that I have a bone to pick with you.
All
This
right,
is
I
some
love
beef.
this.
Like this is some street shit, whatever that means. And
Is that it?
and a year ago, I sent you a friend request.
Yeah, I
Notice
don't-
how it says add friend because
yeah, I don't-
I had to save myself the embarrassment.
I don't accept
And,
anybody on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know.
And I eventually just canceled the friend request
I
myself.
get it.
You didn't like there wasn't even the decency to
How-
like
how-
deny the friend request. You just
I
let it
leave
sit
everything.
there.
Basically he's saying
Purgatory.
thank you next. Keep your
Purgatory.
fake love.
No, listen. I will go to
You
my.
had some great
said no to
comments.
friends.
I thought that your comments on Tiffany's posts
You better add
were
that man.
hilarious.
He said
And
friends.
Listen.
I thought
Joe
that we
gonna
would
add
make
you right
great Facebook friends. I could post some crazy things.
Listen,
You would post some crazy
listen.
things. We would like each other's
We would post
statuses.
crazy things.
It would be the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and that did not happen.
I have
The only
you
thing
know
that's
what's funny?
acceptable is if you go to your Facebook right now and there's like 23 requests that you never answered.
No,
You know,
look.
I would accept that.
Watch the.
Okay.
That's okay. Go search his name and
It's-
add him.
It says I have 81.
81. Okay.
So that's
Go find him. I tagged Joe in all the promo. You're tagged in all the promos. So is Mo.
okay.
You will add
so
him.
what I'm saying is that I have an excuse. 81.
Not anymore, Kobe.
Hey, that's
Not anymore, Kobe.
Because
81 is
all right,
solid.
look,
81
when it
is
comes
anymore.
when it comes to like Instagram, it's different. Like Facebook, I'm like, yo,
Go add that
I was
man.
talking about really personal shit, and if your only like mutual friend was Tiffany, I'm like, hold on,
What that mean?
because me and you should go edit. Who's about to come edit? Who's about to come at me right now? Wait, I'm about
Keep
to,
good
look.
people around.
Hey, look, we on live. What's your
Add him. Terrence Williams. Everybody add Terrence Williams.
No, it's not the
Terrence
same if I don't do
Joseph
it.
Jr.
It's not the same if I don't do it. It's not the same if I don't do it. How you spell?
TERR
Uh huh.
ANCE.
All right, let me change that. I put an E.
It's Williams.
Instagram.
And Felicia Baker.
Don't follow me on Facebook.
See, I can spell out my name.
Is it Long
Bugsy
Beach,
Capri on
Long Beach City
Instagram.
College?
With 2 G's.
Yep, there we go. I was studying culinary arts.
Are you biting a chain?
I took that picture.
Yeah,
Chill out.
she took the
Hair by
picture, so-
Fee and Musica SB
So I'm adding
on Instagram.
I'm adding you as a friend.
You know me. I'm at Spiffy Tiffy H. Don't add me.
I will never.
But
add
at
you.
1-in-1 Records. At 1-in-1 Records on Instagram.
I did. I definitely added. Tiffany, anything you do, I add.
That's right.
I'm sorry, just
All
a
right.
second.
I do want to thank you for your request. But because of past
No,
transgressions,
motherfucker, you gonna accept it. Give me your motherfucking phone. We're not playing this game. Give me your motherfucking phone. You're gonna accept this shit.
I gotta take a second to think
No,
about it.
ain't no taking a second. It's done.
It's the longest me and the gay homie show ever. Ever. We still haven't even gotten a new dinosaurs. But Bugsy,
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
forgot
sorry,
what I was
Bugsy,
talking
by the
about,
way.
bro.
I do apologize.
It's fine, man. It happens. You know what I'm saying?
back to Bugsy Capri.
I forgot what we were talking about.
You talking about you and how you
We talking
battled
about
and
me. I
won
battle
across
people.
the country.
I be fighting
So you
people.
like corrupt.
I love
Yeah,
corrupt.
kicking down buildings.
New York, New York. I kick a
Lived in
building
New
over
York?
right now. You don't even know.
Lived in Atlanta. Like the dude is bi-coastal, or as Sade says, coast to coast, LA to Chicago.
Which
Like
is not the coast, but we'll let that slide. That's
Okay.
Sade.
Okay. So why? Oh, let me see. So she said you were in Atlanta. Why Atlanta?
Well, all right. So here's what happened. So I left high school and I played college sports in Oregon. I was a Duck.
Okay.
I moved to
What
New York.
position?
They had me listed as athlete. Because I
Okay,
came
so
out of
you
high
can
school
go-
playing
you-
quarterback.
okay.
And then they had me play receiver.
Would you play?
And then-
Would you last play in high school?
High school quarterback
No, I'm saying what school?
at Walnut High School.
All right.
Out in the valley by Diamond Bar.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm
But
sorry.
before that was Crenshaw.
I'm a sports guy, people, so I ask questions.
So before that was Crenshaw High School. So I know all those city folks. Kind of before that.
Wait, who was up there with you
Where at Crenshaw?
at Oregon?
At Oregon. So I
Keenan?
got there. It
Keenan
was
Howery and
Keenan Howery.
Yeah.
Keenan Howery was there. He was a year ahead of me.
Kareem
Keith
Kelly.
Allen's there same year as me. Kareem Kelly's at SC.
SC. Wait,
I had Sammy
who's the other
Parker.
guy? Who's the other guy?
Sammy Parker, the other
Sammy
Long Beach
Parker. That's
Falcon.
what I was thinking about. That's what I was
Sammy
thinking about.
Parker was up there. Who else is up there that you might know?
Terrence
See,
Whitehead?
Joey Harrington was my quarterback. So if you remember Joey getting drafted.
So you had Maurice Morris,
Yes.
Ontario Smith.
Ontario Smith. Shout out Ontario
Yo,
Smith. the
Ontario
O-Town.
Smith should have been a
my
fucking Hall of
boy.
Famer.
Ontario Smith was the steal of the draft.
He was.
That's my G. I
But
ain't
he
gonna
loved
say
weed.
We get back to the music.
That's my
All
boy.
right,
Ontario.
All right, I'm sorry.
my bro.
Listen, we have listeners that like
That love
everything-
sports. That love sports.
Go
hey,
Saints.
hey, right
Go
here.
Saints.
Thank you.
Right here.
All right, all right.
Hold on, go
The
what?
next artist.
I'm sorry. Ontario
Rams,
Smith was
bro.
amazing. All right. All right,
that.
go ahead. So let's talk about that transition.
All right, so
Like, you're at
Oregon, I went to
okay.
New York because I was just like I was honestly like fuck it, whatever. And I went to New York, was teaching.
Whatever.
I went to Atlanta because I had family there, and I moved back to LA for family reasons. And then I ended up back in LA, and I've been here since.
But you were rapping at all these places that
in
you
all the places
like,
I rap because I always
stepped in.
rap, but I never pursued it as like an honest career. You
So
know,
how
it was
long have you?
fun.
Okay, so how long? So you've been rapping since high school.
I rap since high school.
All right. So what is making you continue to pursue that?
I'm at the age where I feel like money's not as important. Now that's gonna blow a lot of people's mind. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But I had a teaching job earlier last year that paid very well, and I was like, "Let me quit this shit because I'm not happy." You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you have to be a certain age to even understand that. If you're not over 27, it's like just tune out because you don't understand what the fuck I just said. You're like, "What do you mean?" Money didn't make me happy.
Look,
creating
I understand. 'Cause
creating
as a
things
black
make
man
me
in
happy.
education, they will throw a lot of money your way.
Yeah.
And I had enough money to do a thing, but I didn't have time, and I was stressed the fuck out. So I was like, let me try to find something else. Talking to Tiffany, she listened to some music and was like, this shit is good. Like, let's just do music, period. And I was like, all right, period. So that's like my main focus right now.
That's the sign of people who knows the true values of life, because I think that's the biggest issue of white folks is that they always chasing money thinking that that's happiness. And when you understand that that's like so second, quadruple dairy, like that's some shit that's not real.
I honestly
like,
think that's a black problem more than it is a white one.
I mean, yeah, I can get that because that's what we think.
Because we're their babies.
We don't have it, and then that's what we
We're
think
their
that.
children.
Who children?
White people's children. We do what we think we're supposed to do because of their example.
That's very true. We think that they set the
agree with
goals that we should be having. Yeah, I agree with that. And I was fortunate enough to get that before I was 27, which is why I am a broke, struggling actor instead of using my degree in video editing and actually making $60,000 or higher in my career.
We're right here, brother.
Yeah, we're right here. We're right here.
Hey, like real, but you're a real talk. So now I am pursuing music full time, and I'm like trying to write like a rap a day, trying to make a beat a day, like things like that. Like,
No, I've heard some music, man. It's really good. It's actually
you.
like you're saying something, which is
Thank you.
important to me. So like when we're done with this, like we're definitely gonna tell everybody like where to go, what to listen to.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about like,
shit is dope.
the singles that you guys are really pushing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like before we move on to the next artist, like anything you want to make sure everybody hears or you want to say?
Nah, bro. Like my name's Bugsy Capri with 2 G's and Bugsy. So go listen to it.
True, and I kept writing it without 2 G's for some reason.
Because that's what people. That's what
I
people
did
do.
not want to write it with.
It's got 2 G's in it.
I did.
All right.
2 G's.
Bugsy with 2 G's.
I don't want you guys to read that I kept saying.
That's it.
1
Listen.
G.
Yeah, go listen.
All right. So, next and final artist, group, collective, duo will be New Dinosaurs and Musica SB, a.k.a. Felicia, a.k.a. Hair by Feet, a.k.a. The Unicorn, a.k.a. Hair Killer. She got purple and turquoise locks right now. Beautiful. Just today. It changes by the day. Beautiful spirit. She'll explain exactly why they chose the name New Dinosaurs. One of the reasons I want her to explain is because people immediately would ask me when I would send EPKs or electronic resumes, if you will, to different outlets. People would go, why New Dinosaurs? Why New Dinosaurs? That's such a unique name. Some people had adverse reactions. I don't like the name. I don't like the name. You know what? Fuck y'all. We're going to keep the name. And I thought about that. I was right with him. I was like, maybe we should change the name. Maybe we should change the name. But Felicia has such a beautiful explanation for why the name is what it is that as soon as I'm finished, she will explain that. But New Dinosaurs is an eclectic group based in soul, based in rhythm, based in gospel, based in harmony, based in jazz, based in hip hop. They weave all of that together to make a beautifully harmonious sound. It's the two of them cousins, Bugsy Capri and Musica SB, and they are New Dinosaurs. So why New Dinosaurs, Felicia? And she explained this at a show we had a couple weeks ago. Why New Dinosaurs?
Because the old ones are dead.
Is that really how she explained it?
That is literally
Just like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
I'm just here being myself with my cousin. We wouldn't be New Dinosaurs if it wasn't for him. He, a friend of mine, a producer, I've been singing since forever, a producer that I was working with. I think people have been more enthused about me doing a project than I have been about myself because I don't fuck with the industry. I sang background for a number of years, been in and out of the industry, done gigs here and there, whatever, but I'm an introvert and I'm a bad liar. So being in the industry, like it's I'm a thumb with the fingers as well. He told me that one day and it made me feel better, but now I feel less special because he heard it from someone to himself. So, yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, but yeah,
Still applicable.
True. I worked on an EP with a friend of mine, a producer friend of mine, and I let my cousin hear it. And this was when he was still in Atlanta. And he heard it and he liked it. He liked what I came up with. So then he sent me some, I guess, throwaway tracks or some old tracks that he didn't know what to do with and told me to record songs to it. And I went to the studio, wrote some stupid songs, some sad songs about some stupid people in my life, about some experiences. Sent them to him, and then New Dinosaurs was born. He was like, okay, so we're a duo. We're New Dinosaurs. And I was like, cool, because the old ones are dead. So that works. And so, yeah. That's
I
that.
came with the name as a joke, honestly. I was like,
I'm sure. I know
she was
you.
like, all right, bet.
So
And
I need
went,
to hear your explanation then.
I said, let's call it New Dinosaurs because, like, Poor Righteous Teachers is already taken. And she's like, all right, cool, let's take New Dinosaurs. And I went, okay.
Yeah, my cousin and I.
That shit is a joke, but she
We're
took
the-
it and
We're the same kind of weird. Like, don't threaten me with a good chime. Like, don't challenge me to be myself. Don't challenge me to be
Listen.
different.
I don't mind it at all.
Like, don't, you know, like it is.
Weird me. That's our
Listen,
relationship.
when you're dope,
Pretty much.
none of that shit matters.
And that's how I felt. I'm like, well, I trust my cousin. If he thinks we could be a duo, he likes the music. I know I have a voice. Maybe I should step out and sing and not be in the background anymore. Maybe I should step out. You know, people keep saying it, and I'm like, whatever. I'm an introvert, so you can compliment me all day, but I don't feed off of that. Yeah. You know, I internalize everything, and I go to myself for stuff, or I go to God. I go to the source for replenishment, you know? Like, so you can compliment me all day. You can say I sound great and I should be a singer and I should do this and do that, but if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean?
You wanted to do New Dinosaurs. You were like,
Well,
I
I
fuck
wanted
with
to
that.
create
Because I'm
with
just
my
saying-
cousin.
because
I
I'm
had
just
the
saying.
opportunity to be myself and to create with my best cousin. Like, why not?
I made a conscious effort to be like, all right, this will only work if you are just being yourself. Like, we're not going to write like for Rihanna. We're not writing for so-and-so or whatever. You just be you. And if you're here tracking like, I don't like that, fuck it. I got another one for you right behind it.
And people have actually like been against the name.
Yeah. So,
Like, cause like, I mean, I'm just saying, there's a little dragon.
yeah.
Who the fuck?
Right. Little Dragon is
Yeah, I mean, there's The Weeknd. You know what I'm saying? There are all
Oh,
these
don't you ever
names that are. I mean,
disrespect
there
that.
are
That is
all-
amazing.
No, not disrespecting, but
Cause
there
I call them Saturday.
there's-
That's cool too.
there are names that are alternative to the conventional, right? And their name is alternative to the conventional names that you would peg as R&B or as this or as that, because they are alternative. And so, again, I had to check myself because Bugsy would tell you, I went back and forth like, damn, can we figure out a different way to package New Dinosaurs? Can we do this? Can we do that? And without even telling him, I decided, fuck it. We're going to stay with New Dinosaurs. And honestly, when Felicia had her explanation at our show a couple weeks ago, that's basically what cemented and solidified that they were going to be New Dinosaurs because they believe that shit. So let me believe it too.
What would make you like? What would be a factor, determining factor to make you say, we need to change the name?
What would make me change the
not
name?
just New Dinosaur, but any name. Like
Any name? Well, quite honestly, we did have a couple of periods of restructuring with our artistry, with the artists on the label, but it was more so to be a bit more palatable. And I don't mean like changing everything about the artist, but just to make it more accessible, like spelling and stuff. Mo County was Moco Music or Moco before. It still had Mo County in it, or Moco, because he is from right outside of Baltimore, Maryland, Montgomery County. And so I said, just shorten it, Mo County. It seemed as if it would be easier to say. And I think we've been successful with the name change thus far. But I asked them about it. And I'm not in the business of trying to change anybody's name or change anybody's persona, but I want them to be able to reach the heights and eclipse or surpass the heights, shatter those ceilings that people want to place above them because of how they look or whatever the music sounds like. So it's like, how can we pass all that shit, But we also have to be conscious of what the industry is. And the industry is a business. And there's certain things that don't work, period. And that's for me working in marketing. You know what I mean?
What doesn't work?
Things that are scary
Shit.
to white women.
Okay, so
If
you're-
it's scary
so
to white
your
women,
name is-
it doesn't work.
Okay,
period.
so how long have you been Bugsy Capri?
My name, before that, I had a name. I had Knockout. I had something else. I don't even remember, Maestro or some shit like that. I became Bugsy Capri when I moved back to LA, like 2011.
What made you choose that?
Capri because I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
Bugsy because it was a funny nickname I had since high school. I got in a fight, my eye was bleeding, and in the movie Bugsy with Warren Beatty, his eye is bleeding at one point. You got to watch the movie. I don't ruin it for you, but his eye is bleeding. So I had a friend call me Bugsy one time, and I was always like, "Hey, Bugsy's kind of cool. I actually kind of like that." So I just took Bugsy and kept it, and then coupled that with Capri from being a Capricorn. So it was that was it. It wasn't rocket science.
Go for it, Fee.
Go for what?
Just more about you.
The gusto. Go for the gusto.
I'm not good at that.
What do you write?
Question.
What do you write?
I write
what kind of music do you write?
I write from my experiences. I write whatever I'm feeling, whatever I want to say. It's not deeper than me being myself. Like I just want to
What is
be
yourself?
myself,
Like,
fulfill my purpose.
Who are you?
I can't describe that in a sentence. Like
Then
you
say
see me
more
as a
than one
black
sentence.
woman. Well, more than one. It would take me a while. Is
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
do your
telling you.
thing.
You're not gonna fully know who I am by
Go
me
ahead, do
telling
your
you.
thing.
So
Give
what
us
I'm
a-
telling
give
you
us a sample.
is okay. What I'm telling you is, if you were to maybe have a conversation with me by way of listening to a song that I wrote, you would get a feel for who I am and the type of person I am, and maybe my personality a little bit. Like I said, I'm an introvert who's a bad liar. I'm also creative. I've also been called the black sheep of the family. His mom calls us the black sheep of the family, you know, the weirdos.
So I know you do more like soulful type of grounded, like, I don't know, like
Honest. It's very-
invincible type of music, right?
Yeah,
So
atmospheric.
atmospheric. Do you?
Somebody just said that to me. I was like,
Very
oh,
atmospheric.
Atmospheric is a sound.
yeah, I know what it
big.
means, cousin. I know what it means.
I looked up some of your stuff, and it sounds kind of like. Are you familiar with the artist Now or Nao? Nao?
Yes.
Yes, like who is one of my favorite artists for the last 3 years. I called her Now, but I don't know.
That's kind of how you pronounce the AO.
Yeah.
That's how you generally would. I haven't
Oh,
heard
that is
her.
your favorite.
It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite artists right now, or in my top 5 of all time. Actually, I just think she's just not out there yet. But however, you are familiar with her music. Do you feel like you fallen similar to her vein
Low
in
key.
a sense? Yeah.
Low key, it's been described as similar to her, kind of Erykah Badu-ish.
Erykah Badu-ish.
Kind of a little dragony, I guess.
Somebody said we
My
sound
favorite,
SKA
I like,
Twigs.
somebody else said SKA Twigs.
Somebody said
SKA
we sound
Twigs.
I can see that.
SKA.
Yeah.
I was like,
You know,
Erykah Badu is my favorite of all.
she is my spirit animal. Like, she makes me feel like it's okay to be me.
Yes.
Like,
because
she,
it
you know,
is.
I'm cool with
This is my boo.
me being me, with the, you know, the way I express
Yeah.
myself, because she's cool with the way she is expressing herself. Like, that's,
Yeah.
I love her. I love Nina Simone. I love Ella Fitzgerald. Bilal is my most favorite. I will listen to BJ the Chicago Kids till forever.
That's the homie.
You know, SKA Twigs. Like, everybody you named, that's what I listen to, pretty
I think
much.
one of the things I love most about Felicia and New Dinosaur's music is that if Felicia is feeling a certain emotion that day, she doesn't try and hide it. She's not camouflaging
can't.
what she is or who she is. If she chooses to write that day or write about that experience, you're going to be placed, you as a listener are going to be placed in the same place she was when she wrote it.
That's
You know
the
what I
goal.
mean? It's very immersive, the music that they do, and it puts you in that same emotion that they are writing from. So I appreciate that authenticity
Thank
because
you.
a lot of people try and mask or camouflage again what it is that they're feeling because they feel like, oh, the audience wants to hear this. The audience isn't going to like that. It's too deep for some. Felicia doesn't seem to care about that. Felicia's like, in fact, let me use this and make that my power, my superpower. So that is her superpower,
And
being
I deal with-
unapologetically authentic.
I deal with anxiety and a
Mo
couple
too.
of different things, and
Both
I've had
too.
to sing through it. And I've had to find a way to get through it. But I couldn't mask and fake it and pretend like I was okay. I had to just use how I was feeling to get me through. Like, music is very cathartic. It's atmospheric because I go somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't stay here when I sing. Like, that's the only opportunity. When I feel most at home or most like myself is when I'm singing or when I'm having sex. You know what I mean? So when I'm on stage
Yes.
singing,
Yes.
seriously, when I'm on stage singing, I'm going to travel wherever I feel like going that day. And I want you to come with me if you so choose. And my ex had to check me. He's a Grammy Award winning producer and musician. I won't say what instrument. And he had to check me after a show we did, New Dinosaurs did, like a few years ago. And he asked me because I sang this song called Why. And he asked me, he said, okay, that was great. Like, you guys did good. Like, you sound great. Did you write that song with the same energy you just sang it with? And I said, no. He said, I can tell. People are going to think you're fake unless you bring the same energy with which you wrote the song.
That's
like, you can't.
absolutely not true.
He told
Well,
me.
it depends.
Let me
on-
tell you, the mood and the energy that I was singing the song with did not match it. So I was being, in fact, inauthentic.
I was. What if
listen to the song? Why she wrote the song in like 5 minutes, like real talk. And I went, how'd you write that shit so fast? She wrote it. She was like, because that's how I felt. Like right now, I'm going through something. And
but what happens if you write a song feeling one way and then you have a different energy and
you can have a different energy, but tap into the energy with which he wrote the song. That's what he told me. He said, if you're up there gleeful, ego-driven, and up here trying to impress, they're not gonna feel what you're singing.
Is that only because when you first wrote it and then you put it out to the general public, that's the way that they perceived it?
No, the song is sad.
The song is sad, but what if you didn't feel sad when you were singing it the next time?
I didn't feel sad the next time.
And then that's something wrong with that?
Well, it's not wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about what I want people to feel or what I want people to get from what I sing.
Every time you do the song.
You're an actor.
Exactly.
You're an actor. So if you are unable to convey an emotion authentically to make the audience believe you, then they're going to peg your role as just an acting, inauthentic. You're just acting. You're not selling it. What Felicia does well and what she is honing in on is her ability to get onto a stage and again project the emotion that she wrote with into that performance so that the audience is right there with her. It's not about
making you
staying
uncomfortable. I'm not trying to make you sad, but I want you to know that when I wrote this, I was honestly feeling this way, and what he witnessed is an ego and me just getting up and trying to display skill as opposed to me being honest and true to the artistry. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like instead of getting up and impressed, and then I had to check myself like, wait a minute, Felicia, that's not even why you're doing this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like get it together. You have to be authentic and you have to be true to the artist that you are and that you were created to be because you can't be anything else. So make sure that you're authentic every time you get up there. Make sure that you're being honest. You know what I mean? Even if I don't feel like singing, I may say that in the show. Like, I really don't feel like being up here with y'all, but I'm going to sing these songs because they always make me feel better.
I mean, I think it's the same way like Jill Scott can get on stage and sing about food and people will get hungry or people will believe that she got
sung about food?
That sex is metaphorical. You know what I mean?
I know she had something about
or
food.
Erykah Badu can sing about Next Lifetime and you believe that she missed her opportunity or sing about Other Side of the Game and you believe that she was in a relationship with somebody who was doing some dirt. Versus somebody who might get up on stage and sing or write a song and it's thin, it's vapid, it's empty, it's soulless,
fake.
it's fake.
Experience.
Yeah, so it's not about staying in the position.
New
or that
Dinosaur is
situation.
like we intentionally are like, let's make this shit as real as fuck. And we almost it sounds kind of pompous, but we almost don't care if you like it or not.
I do not care if you like what I create. If you do not like it, it is not for you, my love. I create because that is why I was created. It is going to reach, affect, touch, and get to who it is meant to get to. And they will do what they are meant to do as well. I'm all about passion for purpose. But I don't give a fuck what you think of me ever. Ever.
And
yes.
And I honestly believe that when you listen to it, you'll know that it's real. It's not like those pop artists who go like this in every Instagram video, like we don't give a fuck.
You're on radio. What you do?
Oh, sorry. They put a middle finger up. I thought we were on camera.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's honestly like I kind of don't give a fuck. You know, like I'm gonna make. I've even told her like I'm gonna try to make the weirdest shit ever, and she's like, all right, go for it. And I'll try to make a hard beat that's like weird, like no way she can sing to this. No way she'll be able to sing to this. I'm gonna make a hard ass beat. It's gonna be weird as fuck. Here we go. Yeah, this is some straight shit. And then she's like, all right, challenge accepted, and she'll sing something to it, and I'm like, that's New Dinosaur. Like that's our whole relationship is us trying to like out ourselves each other. Like I'm trying to be as honest as I can on this. She's like I'm gonna be more honest than you. And she writes something that's even more honest. She has a song. We have a song called Skeletons that still makes me cry to this day. Like I legit cry. And I'm a grown ass man, bro. And I legit hear it and I'm like, and I still tear up. The song's called Skeletons.
There's nothing wrong with crying. I cried earlier today.
Bro.
about a little girl singing with Patti LaBelle.
Oh my God, I love that video.
I skipped it because I was like, I don't.
That little girl. That little girl got me crying.
I have no idea. And I cried when I saw Soulja Boy's headband. So, but
why
just,
didn't someone tell him about the elasticity of that headband that has
it's
been
sad.
worn?
It's sad.
It's over.
Like his career.
It's sad.
Don't you ever
It's been
disrespect.
a long road
No.
without you, my friend.
All right, everybody, let's wrap this up.
So-
I'm tired. I'm
Okay,
sleepy.
that's New
It's
Dinosaurs.
been too long.
New dinosaurs.
New dinosaur.
guys.
Let's get some.
All right, let me say one thing real quick. So what you guys are going to hear, hopefully edited in, are 3 songs, or maybe 4 songs. One by Mo County called Smoke Alone, again off the EP Quarter Life Crisis. You can get that on any streaming platform. Quarter Life Crisis. It's under Moco Music, MOHKO Music. 2 words, Moco Music. It's under Moco, not music.
So,
Moco, MOHKO, and it's Quarter Life Crisis, the
MOHKO.
EP. When you go on to like Spotify or you Google it or you go to Amazon Music, there are 2 that come up. The other artist is not him. He is the black one. Get the black artist, Quarter Life Crisis. Smoke Alone is the single. It's beautiful. It's honest. It's real. And it is an emotion that many of us have been in recently or are currently in. Secondly, Bugsy Capri, 2 songs, Increase and I Digress, both produced by Bugsy Capri. You can get those on SoundCloud ASAP, but until then, you can find snippets under 1&1 Music on Instagram, but it will be up on SoundCloud soon. We're performing it all over the city. Fantastic tracks, fun and progressive. Then lastly, we have New Dinosaurs, Felicia, again, Musica SB, a.k.a. Felicia, a.k.a. Hair by Fee, and Bugsy Capri, again, duo of cousins, and they have a song where the in the parentheses it's called Here We Go Again. What's the title? One More Time. I always forget. I call it Here We Go Again because that's my shit. It's called One More Time, parentheses, Here We Go Again. Upbeat, fun, and it's about returning to the same bullshit you keep trying to leave, the cycle of love and loss, and returning to love and loss again. Fantastic song. Again, we are 1&1 Records. You can find us on @1&1 Records on Instagram. You can check for us at performances around the city. We will be performing with DJ Artistic at his R&B Jam in mid-February as well. Shout out DJ Artistic.
love that guy.
Man, we've been so grateful and so blessed to
Wait,
have
Mo
been
County, I read that you performed at his birthday party.
performed at his birthday party.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. You know, we're again, but by the grace of God, we're
Solid
being
dude.
solicited to perform all over this, all at many different things. People are really turning on to our talent, and I really appreciate everybody's support thus far. Continue to support us at 1&1 Records, at Bugsy Capri, at Musica. That's MUSIQASB on Instagram.
And Bugsy has 2 G's.
Bugsy has 2 BUGGSYCAPRI at Instagram. And then lastly, Mo County Official. He changed his name. It's Mo County Official. MOCOUNTY. Mo County Official. No spaces. We are working on a release under the new name. Again, Quarter Life Crisis is his EP, but we have other music coming out. But please continue to support us. Thank you, me and the gay homie. Thank you, Joe and D and Marcus and everybody here.
And
Shireen.
before you guys
thank
go,
you so much.
I want the artists, if you have any last words, like please.
And I'm Tiffany.
One last word. Okay. So I know the New Dinosaurs said that they didn't, they really didn't care what you guys think about them. I do, so please stream my damn music. Follow me on Instagram, add me on Facebook, but no, seriously, Mo County Official, exactly the way that it sounds. Please stream Smoke Alone, stream all my music, tell me that it's dope. If you listen to my music and you hate it, just say it's nice. Like, just please listen to my damn music.
Listen
in all
to his music, please.
Support.
I worked hard on it.
Support
dude can
me.
sing his
Support
ass
New
off.
Dinosaurs. Support Bugsy. Just please support what we're doing. We're just trying to offer you guys quality music, and you can never have too much of that. So.